We're going to get started. Not yet. We still have people coming in. But what I want you to do is, if you have or see a folder here, inside of those folders, there are name tags. And inside of your white basket there, you have a marker. So I need you to go ahead and put your name tag and your marker on. And if you're sitting by somebody you don't know, introduce yourselves. And if you do know that person, tell them something they don't know about you, even the siblings. All right? So that's what I want you to do. And if you have not taken your or given your order to the waitress, raise your hand so I can send them to you. Okay, everybody's got their order. I have new people that just came in, so I got one.
Good. What time is it? Is it this morning? Good morning, everyone. You will have to give us a little bit more energy than that. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is an absolute pleasure to have you with us today for this youth symposium. We are really excited. We have put a lot of time and energy into planning this day for you. You showed up. You are open to give and receive, and we love it. So we want you to be very comfortable because we're going to be together for some time. As my sister has already asked, raise your hand if you did not get your lunch order taken. Did everyone put their lunch order in? Very good. Does everyone have a name tag and is it on? Excellent. So we're going to get started with our introductions really quickly. I am Sister Atia, and for the purposes of today, we are going to call each other sister and brother. You can say sis and bro. I think that's the language that you all use, whichever you are comfortable with. But when we address each other, that is the prefix that we are using this morning. What is it? Sis and bro, or sister and brother. Whichever you choose, is however you feel comfortable. I am Sister Atia. I am the creator and founder of Hood Smart, the Urban Stimulus Project. Did anyone make it to our Kwanzaa program that was here last Kwanzaa? Are all of you fresh faces for us? That's very good. We love to have new faces. Very good. Kwame, were you here? Yes, very good. I serve as an assistant principal in Prince George's County Public Schools. I am very, 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 very passionate about the work that I do. I'm very serious about making sure that we elevate and uplift each other. I do recognize that we are kind of in a state of emergency because a lot of what is being targeted to you is very negative, and it doesn't do us any good for our families, our communities. It's not uplifting us. And so our whole purpose of being here today is to give you information that's going to uplift you, right? Don't you feel good when you're around positive energy? You feel comfortable and you feel safe? That's a good feeling, right? So that's what we want you to get from this program. I'm going to pass the mic over to my brother Sam, who also put a lot of time, energy, and effort into planning this event for you, and then we're going to all introduce ourselves.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and blessings. Come on, y'all. Peace and blessings. All right. First, like my sister Tia said, I really want to thank y'all for coming out. Before we get started, I really like eye contact, so I need everybody to give me eye contact. Please put your phones down and let me just get y'all attention, please. All right, let's see what we got. I don't see eye contact. Appreciate you. All right, so once again, thank y'all for being in the space. My name is Brother Sam. I'm a journalist by trade. I'm also a teacher, a tutor. And as of recently, I'm the co-owner of Coochie Chakalia Learning and Wellness Center. It's a business that my wife and I started. And today, I'm going to be talking about community organizing and hopefully giving you guys a new, better definition of politics. So many thanks for being in this space, y'all.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Thank you, there we go. All right, so my name is Sister Atlantis. I am an educator, I'm an author, I'm a historian, I'm the vice president of IKG, which is actually a family business. We write books, we take study tours to Africa, and we're all about transforming youth, your mind, your spirit, with knowledge and information. So I'm going to be one of the co-facilitators for this session on music and wellness. So I'm really excited. I think you all are going to enjoy it. And just remember what Mama Tia, Sister Tia said about knowledge. All right, we're going to talk about how knowledge can be used, how it can be applied. And we're really excited to have you all here today. So thank you all so much. And just remember, if you have any questions, no question is a stupid question. So we don't want you all to feel uncomfortable. This is a safe space. And we're going to have a great time. So thank you all for being here and showing up. And thank you. Well, we already said good morning several times. Some of the students I see, because you're visiting Capitol Village, where I am also a teacher that works with 8th graders, and I do a whole lot of things at the school. So I'm welcoming those who are hosts and visitors to our school, and then I have some 8th grade alumni. Well, they are now 9th graders, but they are also here where I work at Capitol Village during the school year. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to hear how much information you are going to share with us and how much information we're going to learn from you. So I want you to wake up, get yourselves in order so that we can get things together. I also have an organization called I Is Willing Workers, and I utilize that program to help all students with special needs, autism students in particular. All right? So that is me, but I'm going to move right in so we can keep getting it up. Housekeeping rules. Everybody knows where the restroom is. Yeah. Okay, do you? You can raise your hand. Okay, well, good. If you don't, you go through this door, you see that red, black, and green, that little power flag? You can go that way. You can go that way if you like, or the back door. And right around here, in this back wall on the back are the restrooms, okay? And if you have to use your phone, okay? If you have to use it, we're asking that you please step out there, use it quickly, and then come back in to join us, all right? If you want to charge your phone, go somewhere, plug it, leave it there, and don't keep going back and forth, all right? Because we want all of your attention because we're going to give you all of ours, all right? So those are the only housekeeping rules, and we're respecting everybody when they get up and speak. And if any of your peers are speaking, we're respecting them as well. All right, we good? Y'all can give me a thumbs up, because I know y'all waking up. Thumbs up, we good, we good? No thumbs? Oh, there it is. All right, thank you so much. Okay, good.
All right, for those of you who have just joined us, if you can please come to the U. We need all you participants in the U. Thank you so much. All right, at this time, we're going to turn it over.
What's up, family? I'm Flavor, I'm Brother Flav today. I'm Brother Flav every day. So about me real quick, I am the founder of Foundation Enterprises, which is an enterprise of a number of a conglomerate of businesses and a nonprofit organization. I work as case management. I'm a community activist here in DC and throughout the nation. And many of you, or some of you I would say, but many of you and your parents have heard me on the radio for quite a long time. I'm DJ Flavor from 93.9, WKYS Magic 102.3, Praise 104.1, and TV1. All right? So I'll be talking about entertainment today. I am a international DJ. I travel around the world, but I also run a number of businesses which are also operating around the world, okay? So I'll be talking to you about entertainment and music and entertainment, all right?
Greetings, everybody. How y'all doing? Some of you all I know already. It's a pleasure seeing you again. Those that I don't know, I really want you to know me before you leave. But it's really not about me, he or she, it's about we collectivity. I've been a youth advocate for over 50 years. I represent the government of the UNIA founded by Marcus Garvey in 1914. And we actually are doing work all around the world because we understand that the way things are right now is not right. So we're working to do our best to build a structure to change that. We know that the majority of people on the continent of Africa are young people like me. We understand him, and by the way, I was born and raised here in Washington, D.C. I grew up right here, went to school in Washington, D.C., and I am always a youth advocate. So at my young age of 72, I'll be 73 in October, I'm here and I want you to understand, I have grandchildren older than you are, but it's not, like I said, it's not about me, it's about us. It's about we. And you have to understand that the world was in positive shape far longer than it's been out of shape. So it's our job to make sure the future, who are the youth, understand what is needed to be done, and to always understand that these folks here today are here to love you. I love y'all dearly. Do y'all love me? Yes. Yes, we love each other, right? Yes. We can change the world with the right kind of love, right? Yes. So later on, I'll be talking to you all with Brother Sam, but also it's very important to recognize that the world is going to change. Youth are growing and rising all around the world, but we have to move away from the negative and move towards the positive. So with that said, I'm going to look forward to hearing from you all, because you all got a lot to say to us. Our ancestors are waiting and watching. Children are crying and dying only because a lot of people are still too apathetic to understand the real reason why God created us in the first place. One God, one aim, one destiny.
I go, y'all say amen. I go. Amen. I go. Amen. One more time. I go. Amen. Eye contact, eye contact, eye contact. Who got me? Who got me? Who got me? Everybody got me? Eye contact, eye contact. Phones away, please. All right, beautiful, beautiful. All right, show of hands. How many of y'all know who Marion S. Berry is? Raise your hand if you know about Marion S. Berry. Raise them high. Okay, I like that. All right, put your hands down. How many of y'all know about Nanny Helen Burroughs? Raise your hand. Okay, awesome, awesome. So we, with great intention, we named this youth symposium in honor of them. We are all about honoring our ancestors, because even though they passed away a long time ago, their spirit is still here and we still feel their works. You got a Nanny Helen Burroughs Avenue in Northeast, and as of recently, you got a Marion Berry Avenue in Southeast, okay? But in addition to that, they did a lot of great works, all right? So real briefly, I'm just going to go over what each of them did to bring us this far. Can I do that? Yes. Can I do that? Yes. All right, good. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Understanding Marion Berry. All right, so Marion Berry was born in 1936. He passed away, November will make it 10 years since he passed away. He was a 4-time mayor of Washington, D.C. How many of y'all got a summer job this summer? Raise your hand high. That was on Marion Berry. He made that happen for us. I got a summer job too when I was y'all age. As mayor, he made the DC Summer Youth Employment Program. And that was a program that other cities duplicated all throughout the United States. Paying youth to stay out of trouble during the summertime with government money. Marion Berry did that. But before he did that, he was a youth organizer. He started out very young in the South, organizing young people for civil rights as a member of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Are y'all familiar with that? Okay, it's also called SNCC. Those were the young people that organized with Dr. King and others in the South for voting rights. Marion Berry was the first chairperson, all right? And he also, as mayor, prioritized black businesses and feeding black families. And this started during, as far as DC, right after Martin Luther King passed away. All right, so that's Marion Berry, just a little bit about him. We're going to move on to Nanny Helen Burroughs now. So as y'all can see, we're going right back in time. All right, we started with Marion Berry. That was the 21st century, 20th century, and now we're going to Nanny Helen Burroughs. Nanny Helen Burroughs is part of that generation, right, whose parents were freed from slavery. So her generation is one generation removed from slavery. That's called what era? Who remembers? What era is that called? Go ahead. Reconstruction era. Give them a hand, y'all. Give them a hand. All right, pay close attention, y'all. Okay, so in the Reconstruction era, we as a people were bouncing back from slavery. What did we need? We needed education. And Nanny Helen Burroughs was about educating women and girls. So she founded her own school. And that school is a landmark on Nanny Helen Burroughs Avenue, right at top of the hill. If y'all pass Nanny Helen Burroughs Avenue today, you can still see that school. But before she did that, she graduated from the M Street School. What school is that today, y'all? Dunbar High School, the first high school in the United States for African American children. The best of the best came out of Dunbar High School, including Nanny Helen Burroughs. She prioritized racial pride and racial uplift, and she was among the first advocates of employment and voting rights for black women. Let's give Nanny Helen Burroughs and Marion Asbury a hand, y'all.
Brother Sam. At this time, we're going to prepare for our first workshop. I'm going to introduce Dr. Yeah, come on, baby. Seats over here, sweetheart. I'm going to introduce Dr. Tyus. It's a pleasure for me to introduce Dr. Tyus. She's my best friend. Dr. Tyus attended Banneker Academic High School. She went on to attend Howard University. Of course, she attended medical school. She is a doctor that is well known in our community. She takes a holistic approach to medicine. Her technique for how she treats her patients has been so amazing that many of her patients who may come with diseases that are very common in our community, unfortunately, such as hypertension, high blood pressure, right? Anybody know somebody with diabetes, high blood pressure, all of those illnesses? She's able to treat them with natural medicines to get them to living a healthy life. And so we are really excited. She's going to give you some really important information. We really want you to pay attention because we're going to turn up. We got the DJ here. We're going to do our music segment next. We're going to turn up. But for this segment, we want you to pay close attention because this is what you need to live a healthy, balanced life, okay? Are we ready, Dr. Tyus? And if we're not, Flavor, can you give us some music while we prepare for Dr. Tyus?
I'm counting these bags. I'm moving too fast.
Good. So I'm Dr. Tyus. I'm going to speak to you all today about your brain and your health, okay? And so we're going to go ahead and get started. And so, could we do the next slide? I'll just do it this way. We'll just roll it. Yeah. We're going to roll it. Yes. So there are two types of health, right? You have physical health and you have mental health. And you actually have another health, spiritual health, but we're not going to kind of talk about that today, right? So we have mental health and physical health, okay? Next one. Okay, so when you look into medicine, right, you know how a lot of people say, okay, how's your mental health going, or how's your physical health going? When you look into medicine, mental health is not really mental health, it's your brain health. So what we don't talk about a lot is how your brain is doing. We don't talk about your brain as an organ. We just talk about kind of how your emotions are going, right? But your brain is an organ that needs to be healthy, just like your heart, your lungs, your colon, your kidneys. All of those need things to help you function optimally, okay? So today we're going to talk about how to get your brain to function optimally so everything else functions optimally first, okay? Because wherever the brain goes, the body goes, okay? So the brain is an organ. How do you keep it healthy? Okay, so this is a beautiful picture of the brain, different lobes of the brain, the cerebellum, the spinal cord. So you have lots of different parts of the brain. Today we're going to talk about that top part, okay? And different things that help that to stay healthy. Okay, so what is the brain made of? You know what I mean? It's like this anomalous thing sometimes. So what's it made of, okay? So it's made of 60% fat. The remaining of it is water, protein, carbohydrates, and salts, which are like electrolytes, right? So sodium, potassium, magnesium, all of these is called salts, and they're electrolytes, okay? So that's going to be important as we talk about the health of it, because once again, fat, water, protein, electrolytes, and carbohydrates, okay? Okay, so when a person has a healthy brain, what does it look like? You know, when a person has a healthy brain, what does it look like? Because the reality is most of us are not going to get images of our brain, right? We're not going to get an MRI, we're not going to get a CT scan, we're not going to get a PET scan, even though we're going to take a look at that today, right? So we have to go on how a person acts, how a person relates to you to understand the health of the brain. So the health of the brain, you know that a person is healthy when they make wise decisions, when they pay attention, when they can solve problems, when they interact successfully with others, and when they enjoy emotional balance. So let's think of some people who we could say maybe have a healthy brain. You know, give me some examples of some people who you know. It could be somebody in your community, somebody in your family, like examples of people who make wise decisions. Listen, anybody who you could think of, any ancestors? Yes. Her mom, yes, excellent, excellent. Anybody else who you could say, it could be an ancestor, it could be somebody in your community, anybody who's like an example of,
My dad.
yes, that's awesome that you have examples of that, because we, oftentimes as human beings, mimics what we see. So if you have a strong mommy and a strong daddy, that's a great example that you are going to work and do the same thing, mimic a lot of what your mom and dad have done. Anybody else that you all can think of who are ancestors, who made wise decisions, who paid attention, who found a way out of no way?
Does everybody know what an ancestor is?
Yeah.
What is an ancestor? Dr. Tyson?
Yes, yes,
We have an ancestor.
yes.
You want me to answer what ancestor is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, an ancestor is basically something that came from like before you. So like they can come from your parents or like your stepbrother, like anybody that came before you. Basically they're deceased now, but they were here before.
That's
You
right.
can always go back to them and call them like straight everything.
Because they made healthy decisions, right? So you go back, so when you think of ancestors, you think of those people who made a way out of no way, who solved problems that were not easy, who treated you well, who loved you, you know? So those are ancestors that we call upon. So any ancestors that you all have in your family or in our community that you just want to give as an example, you know?
What about a grandparent? Okay, grandpa. Anybody else? Your mom, your grandmother.
Your grandma, what was her name?
Grandma Michelle.
Grandma Michelle, okay, okay. So what about Nanny Helen Burroughs, right? She probably had optimal brain function to be able to find solutions for her people, right? What are some other people, like Harriet Tubman, right? There were many people who were enslaved in her time, but she found a way out of no way, right? Who are some other ancestors that probably had optimal brain function?
Okay.
Yes. Dr. Martin Luther King, I mean, that's an optimal, right? Like, that's huge, you know what I mean? Anybody else?
This young lady
Yes.
said Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, yes. His integrity was so hard, was so strong. He just made everybody rise with him, you know? Yes. Malcolm X, yes, yes, yes. Marcus Garvey, right here, right? The red, white, and green, yes. And actually, Malcolm X came from a lineage of Marcus Garvey. His father was a Garveyite. Right, Mama? Wait. Yes, we have the UNIA in the house, so yes. Yes. Yes, Kwame Nkrumah. Yes.
Charlie E. Gray.
Say it one more time.
Charlie E. Gray.
Who was that?
First female black lawyer.
Yes. What was her name again? What's her name again?
Charlie E. Gray.
Charlotte E. Ray. I love that. Yes. So you see how optimal brain functions can change a nation, and how we all need to work on really having optimal brain function. That means adults and children. So this is focused towards teenagers, but as adults, we get a chance to really implement it more. Yes.
The Rock Mountain and the Black Panther.
Say that one more time.
The Rock Mountain and the Black Panther committee.
Okay. The Black Panther Party. Committee. Yes.
A whole group of strong brains.
The Rock Mountain.
The Rock Nine.
Little Rock Nine.
Little Rock Nine. Okay, yes. So y'all bringing up some amazing ancestors, amazing elders, amazing people. So I love it how y'all brought up your mom, your dad, your grandparents, and elders and ancestors, because all of that is needed for us to be strong. Okay. All right, so your brain, so there's a doctor, his name is Daniel Amen, right? We're gonna go over some images of the brain that he does. And he's an expert in the brain, not just in mental health, but brain function. Oh yeah. So who would like to read this? Anybody can yell that out if you can see it? Go ahead.
Your brain is the hardware of your soul. You cannot be who you really want to be unless your brain is working right. Daniel G.
Yes, thank you. So this is real because when you talk about health, it's not a nebulous thing, right? Health is being able to support a person to live their dreams, right? So no matter what it is, if it's an athlete, you know, who wants to run a marathon, you want to help them. But all of us have a dream that we want. So really your health and your brain health is needed for you to live and live optimally. Okay, so what are the qualities of a person with an unhealthy brain?
Drowsiness.
Yes, drowsiness, always fatigued, brain fog. You can't think right quite. You know what I mean?
Negative energy.
Yeah, so negative energy where oftentimes you just keep on having negative thoughts on something, like ruminating negative thoughts, where you can't stop your thoughts and kind of retract them and rewire them. Just shout it out. Inconsistency, that's awesome. So really not being able to carry out your goals, right? Kind of just like being stuck. That's interesting. I saw a patient the other day. He was a 50-year-old man, and we're going to talk about this. And when I did his exam, it was clear that he had numerous concussions, right? Now he didn't play football anymore, but he used to. And so when you listen to his heart and when you did his exam, you could tell, even without him saying, he had numerous concussions, and he has not since been able to follow through on his goals. So we're going to talk about concussions and how that affects brain health and inconsistency and, you know, why that can be the case. Anything else that you guys think about? That can be an unhealthy brain, like any symptoms, any qualities of a person that can tell you their brain is unhealthy.
Bad decision making.
That's excellent. Bad decision making. Yes, that's excellent because it really speaks to so many things. But yes, bad decision making. Yes. Anybody else? Okay. So you got some people cannot see that, but signs of depression, right? Signs of anxiety, ADD or ADHD, right? Opposition defiant disorder or post-traumatic stress disorder. And oftentimes you see people who sometimes eat too much or don't eat enough, right? Sleep too much or don't sleep, right? You see lots of different symptoms that go under these categories, but you see how mental health is really brain health, right? How they're all connected, right? Okay, next one. So causes of the unhealthy brain. So we're going to get into a couple things here, but one thing is dehydration, not drinking enough water. Now that seems pretty small, right? But remember, water makes up a big part of the brain, right? So water and hydration are very important. So some people say you're not unhealthy, you're just dehydrated. There are numerous diseases, including hypertension, that basically are diseases of chronic dehydration, right? So the question is, how much water should you drink every day?
8 cups.
8 cups, that's generally the recommended amount, right? But what we say is half your body weight in water. Okay? Half your body weight in water. So if you're 100 pounds, how many ounces of water should you drink a day? 50. Exactly, 50. Yes, great. Okay, the next thing is poor diet, right? Lack of healthy fats, minerals, and proteins. Alcohol, right? We're going to see exactly how that affects the brain. Drugs, and that includes marijuana, lots of all of those drugs. Concussions, we talked about that, right? Infections, COVID can affect the brain, right? And so those things, infections, also can affect the brain. Trauma. So sometimes things happen to us in childhood that affects the brain adversely. They call them adverse child events, right? And so it's important that if things happen to us in our childhood that we process them. If not, it can cause rewiring of the brain in some way. And that's very important, okay? Smoking. Smoking can adversely affect the brain. Poor rest, as well as early and excessive sexual intercourse. So that's important as we talk to teenagers about mental health and brain health, okay? Okay, so can everybody see this slide pretty well? Okay, So, okay, so these are images, PET scans of healthy brains and unhealthy brains, okay? So I wanted to show some scans to show you exactly what marijuana, what cocaine, what alcohol, what all of these things can do to the brain, okay? So up top here, that's the top of the brain, but on the other side is like the bottom part of that brain, right? So you have a couple of things that kind of are embedded into the bottom, so that's why it already has some grooves there, right? So the first one is, let's get some people to read this. What's the first one there? Can someone read that one for me? The first one right under the healthy bottom part of the brain? Yes.
3 years of meth?
Yes. Well, okay, so this one right here. Okay, so the part here. Okay, so that's the top part right there. 3 years of meth. Now you see the effect that that has on the brain functioning? Everybody see that?
Yeah.
So meth, right? Everybody knows what meth is?
Yeah.
Okay, methamphetamines, right? So that's that. Okay, Kwame, keep on going down. Or somebody else want to read that? Keep on going. Keep on going down. Like count. Okay. So the next one is 10 years of alcohol, right? So oftentimes alcohol is legal, but it's not healthy. Right? We have to be very careful about alcohol. It's very toxic. We're going to talk about that more. So that's that. So that's alcohol. And then the next one is, anybody can see that one?
4 years of cocaine.
4 years of cocaine, right. And you see how the brain is affected from how it's smooth up top to how it is on the bottom? That really affects the brain. So do you think a person with that can think clearly or make good decisions? No, right? Okay, so the next one here. You see
6
that?
years of opiates.
Yes.
6 years of opiates.
Okay, so 6 years of opiates. So that is, what are opiates?
I don't know.
Like
Everybody knows.
Heroin, what's out there now that a lot of people eat? Percocet, fentanyl, all those things. So those are, so you see how that adversely affects the brain? Everybody see that? Okay, so if we go up, what's the next one there?
4 years of smoking.
4 years of smoking, right? So people think smoking is free, but it's not free.
marijuana or is it just cigarettes?
So smoking, and so what if you did smoking and marijuana? You see marijuana, how that's up top there? So if you do both, then the combination of both, how it adversely affects the brain. If your brain is not functioning well, life is not going to be easy. You know what I mean? It seems like it's easy because it's marijuana, smoking helps to kind of relax you sometimes, what they say, but on the long hand, it's not helpful, right? Okay, next slide. Okay, so marijuana, so let's talk about that, because a lot of people think, okay,
Let's pass this.
okay. So a lot of people think that marijuana is free, right? But it's not free, right? It affects the brain development, normal brain development. And marijuana is really not good for young adults, right? When people are adults, it kind of has its own side effects, but the developing brain, it really affects marijuana development of your prefrontal lobe, right? You remember those lobes that they showed the picture of? Now there's a prefrontal lobe development that helps your decision making even more. So when you really, when people start using marijuana, especially when they're young, it really does affect the development of your decision making. So you really want to stay away from it, especially as a young person. It can cause learning, memory, coordination, reaction time, and judgment issues, right? So we know that when you're smoking marijuana, your judgment is not the same, you know? Your memory is not the same. Your consciousness is not even the same. So all of those things. Excessive and frequent use of marijuana is associated with hallucinations, paranoia, and a range of emotions. I have a cousin who used marijuana once, and he's never been the same. He's never been the same. I think they laced it with something, and his brain just never has been the same. So it does happen. Sometimes it's not just marijuana, they lace it with other things. And then also accelerated aging and memory loss. Marijuana affects aging. It ages you. So, so that's important too. So I just wanted to show this because of concussions, right? So you have, this is the overall the head, right? So you have your skull on top, right? And you see how you have your blood vessels there, and then on the bottom is the brain. So when you have a concussion, the head hits against something, but the consistency of the brain is like that of Jell-O.
is very soft, right? So imagine if you have a hard bone, this soft kind of jello hits against something hard, your skull. It just is not the same. You know, it's like, it's dazed. And with concussions, people just can't think right. It affects the whole body. And sometimes, like the 50-year-old that I talked to you guys about, the brain is still never the same. And he's 50. So those who are doing football, you have to be careful, right? Anybody doing football? So, yeah, you could do that, but you have to be careful because sometimes with repeated concussions, your memory goes. Like, it really does affect the body, you know? Okay, next one. Okay, so we talked about hydration. Now, I wanted to talk to you about dyes. Oh, sure, yes, okay.
We need some readers.
Yes,
okay, let's go. You need somebody to read this slide?
Yes.
Any readings? Take read that slide. Thank you so much.
Dehydration, water, limits,
Red dye.
red dye in food, yellow dye,
So let's-
processing food.
Okay, hold on. So let's talk about dyes, right? So what do people eat a lot that has a funny color? What do people eat a lot that has a funny color and you know it's not real? Yes! Okay? Now that will affect your brain, and you know the studies show that these dyes cause ADHD, right? What other things do y'all eat that you know is not real?
What else things you eat?
Takis, yes.
You know it's not real.
Yes, but you know the color.
Chips.
What kind of chips?
What kind?
Could be Doritos or Cheetos.
Yes. So I want y'all to start looking at what you're eating because you think it's free, right? But it can really be affecting your brain adversely. So these dyes cause ADD and ADHD, which affect your which affect your concentration. So sometimes you eat it when you're at school, right? But when you're at school, if you're eating these things, it can affect your ability to learn, right? What else do we have out there with dyes and just stuff that don't even look right? I mean, doesn't look natural.
All right, here we go. We got a question.
Popsicles. Yes. Well, yes. Popsicles. So we got the red ones, the orange ones, the green ones. Like we know that those dyes are toxic, right? So we have to be careful. What are some other examples of colors of things that just are not, you know they're not natural. They're made of dyes that who knows, you know.
Like food.
Skittles. That's a great, Skittles, of course, right? They got green, they got blue, they got yellow. M&M's, all those things. Which I remember when I was 14, we ate all the time, right? But we could tell that it's not good for you. What else?
Gushers.
Who?
Gushers.
Gushers. That's another one. Yes. I'm not familiar with those. Yes.
Fast food,
Fast food. Like what kind of fast food?
like McDonald's.
Yes. So processed foods, right? Kwame, that's processed foods. And processed foods is really important to understand because it's the quality of fat for the brain. Not all fat is the same, right? So when you eat fast foods and french fries and all those things, those are trans fat. Which we want is omega-3 fatty acids. We want healthy fats. Where do we get some healthy fats from?
Wait a minute, let me get it. We got a hand. Healthy fat.
Yes, that's excellent. Yes. What kind of fish?
What kind of fish? I need a new hand. I got you. New hand.
Avocado. Yes, exactly. That's exactly
Okay,
healthy
what
fat.
you said? What kind of fish?
What kind of fish?
What kind of fish? What kind?
Salmon.
Yes.
Okay.
Salmon, wild caught salmon. Yes. What are some other kind of great fishes? Sway. Okay, that sounds good. I've seen that before, but that sounds good. What's another great type of fish that's small? Tuna. And then they're real small. They come in a can sometimes. Sardines. Yes. Sardines have great omega-3 fatty acids. Sardines are great. So yes. Okay, great. So limiting processed foods and unhealthy fats. J-Well, thank you. Yeah. So we talked about adverse childhood events, right? The reality is we're human, right? And we are going to go through challenges. That's a part of being human, right? But sometimes there's some events that happen in our childhood that we got to process, right? So it's important that if you've had events or any traumatic event, no matter how old you are, is that you have somebody you can talk to. You know what I mean? Have somebody, because how you feel, it matters. And you have to speak to how you feel. You know, your voice matters, how you feel matters, right? And sometimes you can talk to your parents, your mom and dad about it, but sometimes you may need somebody else to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because it may have to do with your mom and dad. You know what I mean? Or your grandparents or a family member or something like that. So it's nothing wrong with getting a therapist, okay? And so we have some numbers also at the end that I want you to write down. I can just give you the information if anybody feels that that may be the case. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, right? We all need people to talk to, right? I have a therapist that I go to because I see a lot of people and have to process a lot of things, right? So it's nothing to be ashamed of to have somebody to talk to, okay? All right, so traumatic events, stress in family, community, or country. I had a patient who came in, and when Donald Trump became president before, her sugar skyrocketed. There was nothing else different that she did. She wasn't, but the effect of stress that she was under, it affected her sugars, right? So I recommended her go see a therapist to process things. And that's not her family, it's not her community, but it's her country. And sometimes as Black people, we go through stress because we are people of African descent in this country, right? So, you know, there are things to process, okay? And then therapy is important. Okay, so let's talk about sex.
All right, let's talk about that. We need some people to breathe.
Yes,
this is juicy.
Yeah.
Okay, what we got? Okay, you want someone to read each bullet? Okay, and then you talk?
There you go. That's
okay, cool. Okay. Can I get somebody to read that?
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Read the first book.
Yes.
All right, sex is a part of life, but there is no rush.
Okay, so sex is a part of life, right? We're all here because a man and a woman came together, right? So it's a part of life, but there's a time and there's a place, okay? All right, next.
We got a mic for the next book.
Okay, good.
Early sex and excessive sex affects brain development.
Yes, so early sex, that really, especially with girls, is before 16. Anytime before or at 16, it affects your brain development. And both boys and girls with early sex, it can increase your risk of depression, right? And so we know that, that once again, it's a part of life, but there is no rush, right? There is no rush. With sex causes a lot of other things that happen, right? You have, so let's read the next one. Okay, thank you.
Studies found that females who initiated sex at 16 years or younger were likelier to experience a major depressive episode in young adulthood.
Yes. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Why do you think that is?
Why do you think that is?
Okay, what is
why do you think that is?
Why do you think that females who initiated sex at 16 years of age were younger likely to experience depression? Why do you think they were sad after that?
Regret?
Yes. And with women, it's important because with women, so we're going to talk about sex, okay? So with women, the man and the woman comes together, but the man becomes a part of the woman, right? So we end up carrying a lot of energy of the male, right? And it's not just about the physicality of it, right? It's about how women are receptive, right? So it's important who we choose. It's important who we choose, and it's important that we wait to have somebody to be of caliber, somebody to have very good integrity, somebody to be a good father of our children, because you never know if you will get pregnant, right? Even with birth control and those kind of things, but those are things to think of, you know? So there's a saying that says, when you lie down with, you wake up with, right? So when you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. Right? So the thing is, and I'm not saying that's the case with all men. I'm not saying that's the case. But the thing is, you have to choose well, because that person could be the father of your child or the mother of your child, right? So you have to choose well. You have to choose well. And you have to choose somebody with very good integrity, right? Because you become one with that person.
What does integrity mean?
So their character. Oh, go ahead. Yes.
We need a mic.
Right here.
I'm sorry.
So what does integrity mean?
Integrity? Where we at?
Integrity means like doing the right thing when nobody is around.
Yes, thank you. Yes. And so it means, so for a young woman to have sex before 16, in terms of her feeling depressed, let's talk about that more. Why would that be the case? Oh, we're going to talk about integrity. We're going to go back to that. Whichever one you want to answer is fine.
What was the question?
So we were specifically going to why a young woman who's sexually active before the age of 16, right, would have some depression.
What's another reason why?
We have a hand here, we have a hand there. Where's the mic? We got the mic.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming back. What hands? I want some new hands.
Yes.
Can I get some new hands? Okay. No offense. I love it. Okay. Go for it. What are some reasons?
For young teens, they start feeling like guys are only using them for their body.
Yes. So the males at that age may not be serious, right? Yes. So let's go on to the next one. Can somebody read the next one for me?
Increase susceptibility.
Increase susceptibility
Yes.
to symptoms of depression in males and could also expose males to increase in inflammation in adulthood.
Okay. So inflammation means systemic swelling, right? So that's what that kind of means. So why do you think that may be the case for males?
Increased susceptibility to symptoms of depression in males could also expose males to increased inflammation in adulthood.
So it's,
why is that? I'll let you take that.
What is susceptibility?
so the likelihood. But let's just go to the first one, the increased susceptibility to symptoms of depression in males. Why do you all think that may be?
No, I'm reading it.
Oh, I love it. Oh, because you took a picture. Look at that.
I love it,
Okay.
yes.
How old are you?
Because like when you're young, you don't really understand your emotions and your how you feel in your body, and like your body is a temple. So it's like when you have something that happened to your body that never happened before, a lot of changes occur, and like your mental state is just like kind of confused because you don't know what's going on.
Yes, that's great. That's an excellent answer. Thank you. Excellent.
Like that.
Yes.
Like that.
Okay, so exposure to
Oh, I got one more. Here you go.
To piggyback off what she says, after having sex, your body is now exposed, and your brain and your body is now exposed to more hormones, and at that young age, it's just pushing out so many, and then you start to go down paths like having anxiety attacks, unwanted, and depression states.
Yeah.
So it's just random things that happen along out.
Yeah, that's great. Yes. Can somebody do the next slide?
Oh, here we go. Your hand was up. I know it was in the head, but it looked like it was up to say. Go ahead. Then next, you just exposure to.
Exposure to pregnancy and STIs.
Okay.
That was real quick.
So yes. And then let's so I'm just gonna move forward with the next one, right? So the next one is really being careful of the side effects of pornography, okay? So let's get someone to read that, the next four.
Absolutely. The next four. Ooh. Yeah. There you go.
Unrealistic attitudes towards sex can affect romantic relationships as one gets older. Overuse of the developing brain adversely and can lead to addiction.
Yeah. So I had a patient, he's 47, right? But because he started watching pornography at 17, he's not able to have a normal relationship with women or a normal relationship in general because of his addiction to pornography, right? So this is very important for everybody, right? Girls and boys, but especially boys, okay? That it seems it's all on the internet. It seems very free, right? But it has an effect. It has a cost, right? So once again, sex is a normal part of life, but pornography can be addictive, and you have to be careful. Because what you do at 17 and 16 can affect how you are at 40. You know, how you affect how you are with your significant other, right? So just be careful, okay? Okay. Next one. Yeah. Okay, so how can I keep my brain healthy? Okay, let's get somebody to read these here.
Okay. There you go.
Drink water, eat whole foods, increase fruits and vegetables to 5 to 7 servings per day. Eat foods that give life. Never self-medicate marijuana or alcohol. No processed food.
Okay, so what are foods that give life? Can you answer that for me? What are some foods that give life?
Foods give life.
Oh, good. Yeah, he just said.
Oh, you got one too? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Say one. What food gives life?
Okay, what food gives life? Okay, so I would say apples, oranges.
Yes. Things with seeds in them. Yes. Yes.
Vegetables.
Yes. All those things. Exactly. Awesome. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, next one. All right, so can someone?
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm going to do the first one as we find someone, okay? So sometimes you may, if you're feeling down or depressed or anything like that, sometimes you may have to talk to your doctor and get labs done, okay? So when you go for your physical with your parents, think about getting labs done, because sometimes you could be anemic, especially if you're a young woman and you have your menses every month. Sometimes you could be anemic. Sometimes your thyroid could be off. Sometimes your sugar could be off, right? So it's good to get lab work done. Okay, take it away.
Take it away.
The second one, the importance to kind of put those thoughts to paper and help you move forward. Okay? So journaling is really good, as well as affirmations to say you can do it. You can reach your goals. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, right? It may be go to college. It may be just to feel good for the day, to get through the day, to feel powerful during the day. Whatever your goals are and what you believe yourself to be, right? To write down your affirmations to help you get to your goal and stay focused on something positive instead of something negative.
So you got to read the rest of the 4 type thing.
So let's just hold there, right? That's very important, right? Limiting your phone use. There are studies that show that the amount of time that people, actually, especially young people, use your phone equates to depression, anxiety, and issues of brain health. So I really want you all to be mindful, no more. The American Association of Pediatrics recommends no more than 2 hours a day of screen time. That's television and the phone. Any screen time, right? 2 hours a day,
Can I
okay?
ask a question?
Yes.
If most people have an iPhone, I know that there's it gives you a message as to how many hours you've actually been on your phone. Has anybody ever looked at that? And if so, what's your number? Raise your hand and tell us what your number was. What's your number? We got lots of people. Okay, good. Come on. Let me pass it so we can hear. I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to hold it. Say your number.
Like 15.
15 hours.
Oh my God.
Yes, you said 15 hours. Hold on. Okay.
On my phone is 8, on my iPad is over 12.
Okay.
One more. How many? That's all you on your phone. You ever looked at how many hours you've ever spent? Has that told you? Oh, no. You're going to have to look. Okay, one more.
53 hours.
Wait.
Hold on. He said 53 hours. Hold on.
It could be a day.
Oh, she said 5.
Okay. So can we?
I just want to go massage his brain. Like, are you
Exactly. So if we can all work on that, even the adults, right? Like that's for everybody to work on. So can we all kind of make a commitment to a couple of things? And I want y'all to pay attention because at the end of the talk, we're going to go around, right? To ask what are you going to do different? Okay? So if we could all work on TV time, screen time, all those things, because we can really be using our brains for other things, you know? And it does, the studies came out with the Chinese first, because a lot of times they were really into these gadgets, right? And it showed the screen time for them to be on the phones correlated with mental health issues, you know? So we really, let's work on that, okay?
Yes.
Okay? Okay, good. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, yes.
No, I do have a question, because what if you use your phone, what if you're using your phone for work reasons? For example, I'm on my phone right now, but I'm literally working.
Okay.
And that's how I get my work done. And we do that with our computers. Many, all show of hands if you are using your laptop for schoolwork.
Okay, so that's not including schoolwork, okay? So that's not including school or work. Yes, that's a good point. That's scrolling. You know, that's playing games on it or something like that. That's other recreational things that are not school, okay? So that's a good point. But even with school, we're not meant to just sit down for long periods of time. You know, the body is made to use. And when you're watching TV, you're not exercising, right? You're not getting out in the sun, you know? Go ahead.
Hold on, baby. I want them to eat.
I have a statement about limit phone use. So when you say limit phone use causes stress reduction,
No, it's not stress reduction, no.
So
limiting phone use is, phone use correlates with anxiety and depression, right? So limiting phone use will improve it or prevent it. You see?
I
Okay.
didn't really answer my question though. Like what I'm trying to say is when it says limit phone use, like you mean like social media, because social media is what really causes stress.
Yes. So that's one of them. It could be social media, and a lot of times it's not all the time what you're doing, it's what you're not doing, because we're human beings and our bodies need certain things.
And it's like the world really revolves around technology. Like we don't pay to use the phone anymore. So it's like we're going to be on the phone 24/7 regardless of what you do.
No. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Everything relies on technology now.
So you think it does, right? But I was just in Jamaica, right? And there was not any electricity really there. And people are living quite fine, right? So technology, us having addiction to technology doesn't mean we need it. You understand? It's not that we need it, it's that we're used to it. You know? So sometimes, really, if you look at your phone 2 hours a day, you're not missing anything. If you do it 24 hours a day. If anything, you're missing exercise, you're missing quality time with your family, you're missing eating, maybe cooking, learning how to cook, learning something new. So think what you're missing because you're doing that, right? Because it's really not needed as a human being, this social media thing. We need air, we need food, we need water, and we need people. We don't need that. Yeah. But I do understand what you're saying. It feels like that sometimes. Yeah. Okay, so let's read the next couple of things here. So we're at therapy now. Okay, yeah, we're at therapy now.
Okay, those last three real quick.
So I want y'all to take notes about what y'all want to do different, okay?
Therapy best meditation fail.
Yes.
4 seconds in, 4 seconds, then 8 seconds out.
Yes. Yeah, so that done. So let's do that again. 4 seconds in, hold it for 1 second, and then 8 seconds out. That done in a cycle of 10 times can help really calm you down. Okay? So those are, those
deep breathing techniques?
Yes, they are. Yes. Deep breathing techniques. Yes. Okay, next time. Okay, so let's talk about vitamins, right? Because those are important. Let somebody go through that slide real quick.
Go ahead.
You ready? Go ahead.
Good multivitamin, omega-3 fatty acids, 1,000 milligrams daily, vitamin D, 2,000 IU daily, and go outside.
Good.
Good. That's important, yes. So if you guys can write that down, I really want y'all to write that down, right? Everybody should just try to take a multivitamin, some omega-3 fatty acids, check it by your doctor, right? And some vitamin D. I have most of the adolescents who come into my office, a normal vitamin D is about 30. Theirs is about 7. Because they're inside on their phone all day, just not doing anything. Or in school, but a lot of times in this country, we're inside. Right? A low vitamin D increases correlations of, and you get vitamin D through the sun. It increases issues with cancer, it increases depression, anxiety, all those things. So I really do want you all to work on getting a good multivitamin, vitamin D, and some omega-3 fatty acids. Is that something that we could do, that you guys can work on? Talk to your parents about when you get back? Okay, yeah. Okay, for young women, iron is needed because we have our menses every month. It's important to take a little bit of iron. You can do beet juice if you like, eat a lot of beets during that time, as well as calcium. It's very important at your all's age to start a calcium supplement because sometimes women are at increased risk of brittle bones. Okay? All right, so just to wrap things up, right? The best doctors are the elements, right? And let's get somebody to read this real quick.
Okay. Right here, but my sister.
Who have I heard?
Yes. Bring it home. Bring it home.
All right.
Read all of them.
Sun, fire, earth, health foods, water from good source, air meditation / breathing, stay close to nature.
Yes. So the reality is, as we brought up, we've been, human beings have been in existence for a very long time, right? And the things that we need, and what we didn't talk, is healthy relationships. That's very important because we need each other. We're not isolated beings. We need our parents and our grandparents and communities and our friends. All of that is very important to make a healthy brain. But the best doctors are, like in Jamaica, we have 70-year-olds who are climbing coconut trees. 70-year-olds, right? And it's because they're in nature, right? They eat good cocoa yam, they're strong, they're in the sun. So just try our best to stay close to the elements, right? Get outside and get some sun, right? Make sure you drink healthy water, right? From a good quality mineral source, like spring water or something like that, right? Earth, make sure that you're eating healthy foods, not a lot of processed foods with a lot of dye. And then air, making sure you're breathing. Sometimes people don't breathe, making sure you're breathing, okay? And I think that's it. Yeah.
Now, I know, you said you wanted somebody to just say what they're going to do.
Yes, I did a couple people.
So we're going to get 2 things happening.
Yes.
So I only want 3 people to say what they're going to take away. I got you.
Oh, I got a question.
Oh, you got a question?
And I'll just do that too. No,
okay, cool. You want to get your question.
Yes. Oh, why do y'all got 70-year-olds climbing like coconut trees?
Well, the thing is why, not why per se, is that the thing is that they can do it if they want to. When you become 70, you're going to want to be as active as you can. You're going to want to be able to do whatever you can with your body. And the thing is that they can, right? Is that they can. See, how old are you now?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, how old are you?
12. Okay. So at 12, you can do a lot with your body. Somebody who's 70 wants to do a lot with their body too. You know what I mean? They don't want joint pain and walking all slow with canes. Nobody wants that. So if you can climb a coconut tree, why not?
Excuse me, can I interrupt for a second?
Yes.
So my dad is here.
Oh, yes.
He's 79. And my dad still dance and go all the way down to the floor and get low and do all of that at almost 80.
Yeah, maybe all the people
can answer the question. Yes. So you can do it.
That's a good question to ask.
That's a good question to ask. So I just want to interject that. And take it and bring it, right? Take it and bring it so you can do it too.
Yeah.
Sometimes our people are in their 40s and 50s and they can't do any of those.
Yeah.
I know people that are 47 and they look 70.
Oh.
They look 70. And there are people that are 18 that look like they're 40.
Do they do a lot of drinking and smoking? You think?
No, some of them don't. So what is that? Usually it's probably mental health or whatever's happening in their life. You gotta think about that, whatever it is.
All right, so we gotta wrap this segment up. Can we please give a round of applause to Dr.
I need 3 people thinking of your brains, but before I do that, if you just came in and you didn't get your order taken by the waitress, raise your hand, please. All right, the waiter. All right, keep him up because he will be coming around. All right. Okay. So while he's coming around, you can go right ahead. Thank you so much. While he's coming around, I need 3 people to say what they're going to take away from what they just heard. What? You got your food order? Oh, you order food? I need to take this. Oh, let me right there. Okay, I got 1 for you. Okay, go. Oh, you also up for food, but you got something you gonna take away? What you gonna take away? I'm coming to you now.
I be on my phone a lot, so I'm gonna hop off the phone. I got like weekly. I got like maybe like
a lot of
30 hours.
Oh, okay. So you gonna put that phone down?
Good.
I appreciate that. What you gonna take away from this? What she said? All of this. What can you take away?
Be better in life.
To just be better in life in general, okay?
So give me some specifics. We had a lot of things, but yeah, you got to do one thing.
Okay. I'm waiting for him to be specific. What part of life? Which one? Is it the health? Is it the mental?
Health.
Which one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, mental health.
Okay, so your mental health. You're going to do a little bit better with
What
mental
about
health.
water? Drinking more water. Is that something you can do? Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, 3 things I can take away is to fix my diet,
yes,
to limit my screen time, and be more in nature.
Yes, that's excellent. Yes, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so
y'all are so inspiring me. All right, so
thank you, everybody.
All right, let's give Dr. Amatai another hand, please. All right. Okay. Keep it going, Claire. All right. So
now I know. Anyone like to share out? Okay. Yes.
I used to think water was the most specific of the brain.
Okay. Now I know.
Now I know that it's only 40%.
Okay. Is it just 40?
Yeah, it's
40% of the brain, not the body. Very good. Yes. Anyone else? I used to think. Now I know. I used to think. Now I know. We haven't heard from you. I used to think. Now I know.
I used to think yellow 5 was good, but now I know it's bad.
Okay, yes, yellow 5, no good. All those dyes. What happens when you consume all those different dyes? What does it cause? What can it cause? Brain damage, very good. Anything else? Sickness, right. Cancer, right? Yes, so Dr. Titus definitely talked about that. All right, do you have a lot of kids still in the restroom?
It's like 4 or 5.
Okay, they're coming back now. So anything that you learned from the last, the health and wellness segment, I used to think, now I know. Okay, it's okay. Anyone else? I used to think, now I know. You didn't learn anything different?
I mean, yeah. No.
So you knew everything?
Yeah.
You knew
So
as
what
much
did
as
you
you
know?
got to know.
What did you know?
Huh? What did you know? What did you know? Okay, we'll come back to it. I used to think, now I know.
I used to think that social media was like a way to get away, but it's actually another channel.
Ooh, that's powerful. She said, I used to think social media was a way to get away, to escape, but now I know that it's just a distraction. That was pretty powerful. That was pretty powerful. All right, anybody else? Are we ready to get started? All righty. So now we want to get started with our music workshop. One more person. All right, ready?
All right, thank you. Before we get started, I just want to give another reminder about your cell phones. If you have your cell phone out, it should be away. Don't let it be a distraction. If you have earphones, whatever you call them, pods, please make sure you take them out, because otherwise we're going to think that you are not listening. I'm going to repeat this again. If you have earbuds in your ear, somebody help your All right, there we go. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to move on to the next, which is actually divided to two or three segments. All right, so I'm going to start it off just to kind of lay the foundation. The next workshop is about music. All right, music and mental health, but we're also going to talk about how does it affect you. All right. So before I jump into my piece, I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you all, and just give you a response by show of hands. So first question, very simple. Raise your hand if you listen to music. Just raise your hand. All right, keep your hand up if you listen to music every day. All right, good. Some hands went down. Now, keep your hands up if you listen to music more than 4 hours a day. All right, keep your hands up if you would say that you listen to music pretty much all day, from the time you wake up until the time you go to sleep. Okay, all right, so that's a good number of you all. Now, next one, all right, put your hands down. How many of you all listen to music, but you don't pay attention to the lyrics? Raise your hand if you just listen to music, but you don't really pay attention to the lyrics. All right, put your hands down. Raise your hand if every song that you listen to, you are well aware of the lyrics and what the song is talking about. Okay, so that's the majority of you. So my next question is this. And be honest, all right? If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Raise your hand if you believe that music or sound can impact your body, impact your mind or your body. Okay, can I get just one person to explain to me why you think music or sounds can affect your body? Yes.
If I'm listening to like depressing music, I feel like I'm depressed and sad. It just goes with my mood.
Okay. All right, so some people listen to music based on their mood.
I think that's like, even if you're not thinking about it, like even like still while you're listening to your music, your brain's gonna like internalize what you're listening to. So like your body's gonna put it out.
Alright, very good. I love those responses. Now really quickly, and I don't want you to be ashamed or embarrassed, raise your hand if you've never really heard or understood how music can impact you. Alright, so everybody very good? Okay, alright. So we're coming with some background information. So this is what we're going to do. I have a couple of demonstrations that I'm going to do with you all. Alright, so I'm going to do a couple of demonstrations to demonstrate a couple of things, but the first one I want to talk about is the concept of energy, alright? Energy, everything is energy. Energy exists in different forms. In fact, every single one of you all in here are energetic beings, alright? Believe it or not, I'm standing next to this young lady right now, Trinity, and you all may not know it, you may not see it, but there is energy vibrating off of this young lady. When you're in tune with energy, you can feel it. How many of y'all ever walked into a room? Maybe you went to a party, you walk in, and you got this bad vibe that something's gonna happen. It's like, yo, I'm out, or you're gonna leave early before something goes down. How many of y'all have experienced that before, all right? So that's energy, right? You may not be able to see it, but it's there, and you can often feel it, all right? And so the first thing that I'm gonna do, because we're talking about music, talking about sound. So sound is energy, music is energy, everything is energy. In fact, I heard some young lady say earlier that our body is our temple, all right? The household, the greatest household that you will ever manage is not the house that you live in, not your apartment, but this household right here, your body. And it's so mindful that you pay attention to the energy that comes into your body. The energy that comes into your body through your mouth, what you're drinking, what you're eating. The energy that comes into your body through your ears, what you're listening to. The type of people that you're around and what they're talking about, what you see. Watching music videos and TV, anything that's visual, that's energy that's coming in through your eyes. So energy is coming at you from all different directions. But the problem is that if you're not aware of the energy that's around you or what's coming into your body, it can literally kill you. So you have to have a choice. You have to make a choice. You're either going to know or you don't know. The whole purpose of life and this symposium is to give you all knowledge so that you can make better choices, all right? And be more mindful of what's around you so you can protect yourself. All right, so for this first demonstration, I need 5 volunteers. 1, 2, 3. Let me get 2 feet up. Let me get a female. Actually 2. Let me get 2 young ladies. Young ladies.
Right here from our sister body.
Alright, so the first demonstration, I'm going to use this. It looks like a little ping pong ball, right? So what it is it has two metal strips on it, right? If I were to open it up, I'm not going to try to open it up, so I might break my nail. The inside of it is a little circuit board and some batteries, right? So the way this thing works is, I put my finger on one metal clip, right? And then watch this. I'm going to put my other finger on the other metal clip and just watch what happens. Alright, so can somebody tell me what's going on right here? I put my finger on one metal clip, as soon as I put it on the second one, it lights up and comes. So what's going on?
Energy transference.
Wow.
Energy transference.
Okay, good. So it's showing the transference or the movement of energy. Alright, so literally what's happening right now is, remember I told y'all we're energetic bodies. All of you all have energy inside of you emanating from you. So the energy that is in my body, watch this, is flowing from this finger into this finger, and when I place it on the metal strip, it connects the circuit. So literally, energy is flowing from my finger into this finger, into this ball, and literally it's a circuit. It's a circle, all right? And so let's do that with the larger group. So I want you all to form a circle right here in the front. Just form a circle. All right, and I'm going to ask that you all hold hands. All right, actually, let me stand on this side so they can see it. Close together just a little bit. All right, so y'all, all right. So what's your name? All right, Layla. So what I'm going to ask Layla to do, I'm going to put my index finger on this metal strip, all right? And I'm going to ask Layla to put her finger on the other metal strip. So let's hold it up so they can see it. Put your finger on the other metal strip. All right, take it off. All right, do it again. All right. So literally what I'm demonstrating is that number one, energy exists. And that energy that exists in all of us is literally flowing from me to you, to you, to you, to you, to you, to you, all right? And it can literally complete the circuit. So watch this. I can, put your finger. All right, so watch this. I can literally touch Gerard on any part of his body, and we're completing the circuit. Now, let me tell y'all something else. Something that's really, like, when I've done this experiment before with the same amount of people, and sometimes the kids, they were so excited, which means that the more excited you get, you're generating more energy, right? Just like if you run, moving real fast, you start getting hot, that's because your body's generating energy. So one time when I did this, literally everybody stopped holding hands. And this thing was still lighting up. And it showed that, yes, we can connect by touching, but also our energy is so strong that we don't even have to touch, okay? All right, so have a seat for me. Thank you. Let's clap it up now. You want to All right, so I'm going to have G help me with this demonstration, all right? So what I'm going to do is now take this concept of energy to the next level and show you how, first of all, raise your hand if you've heard the statement, knowledge is power. All right, I'm going to ask y'all to throw that out the window. Let me tell you why. Because I could be the smartest person in the world. I could have read 1,000 books. I could have got a PhD, got all these degrees, but if I'm not applying or using that knowledge, it is useless. So instead of knowledge is power, I encourage you all to embrace the idea that the application of knowledge is power. You have to be able to apply what you know in order to make it beneficial, whether it's for you, for your family, or whoever the case may be, okay? So knowledge is power, the application of knowledge is power, and what I'm gonna show you all right now is what happens when you don't have certain information or knowledge, all right? There are people in this world who are smart, they have a lot of knowledge, but there are a lot of people who don't have any knowledge or limited knowledge. Quick question, what do you think happens to a person who doesn't have a lot of knowledge, who's basically ignorant? Doesn't mean you're stupid, it just means you lack knowledge or awareness. What happens to a person that doesn't have knowledge? Yeah, just yell it out.
They get used.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They get taken advantage of because they don't have the knowledge to protect themselves. So I'm just going to do just a very simple demonstration to show you that I have knowledge that you don't have. And because you don't have that knowledge with this very simple thing, I can literally manipulate your body. And I can make you do things without your control, all right?
Y'all believe that?
Do y'all believe that I can control you and make you do something that you don't have any? Alright, so you're gonna be my, after I do it, I'm gonna have you come up, okay? We got some non-believers. Alright, so G, can you stand up for me? Are you right-handed or left-handed? Okay, so. Alright, so G is right-handed, so what I'm gonna ask him to do is just put out his right arm, ball it in the fist, alright? And so look, G, all I'm gonna do is just push down on your wrist, okay? When I push down on your wrist, I want you to resist. So just don't let me push arm down, okay? So let's just try it out, see how strong he is. Alright, good. Yeah, good resistance. Alright, so I'm going to have G look at something, alright? We're gonna break it down, but I want you all to pay close attention to what you see happening so that you can tell me what you see. And let's make sense of it. Alright, so I'm going to hold this in front of him. Alright, I'll hold it for you. Alright, just stay at the center. Alright, and when I push down on your arm, I want you to resist, okay? Alright, good. Alright, now. Very good. Alright, drop back now. I don't want to lose you. Okay, alright, now I'm going to have him look at this. Alright, I want you to stare at the center of the paper. Same thing, when I push down, I want you to resist, okay?
Y'all ready for this? My sister about to put the mic to her mouth. We need
Put the mic to who? Oh! I thought he was strong.
What happened?
All right, real quick, don't go anywhere, you.
Come on,
Come on, the non-believer. What was the name? And he said he bench press. You said you bench press. How much? I know he bench press big time. But that arm went down. But he's a non-believer.
Stay right there. We have another non-believer.
Right-handed. Okay, cool.
Okay, everybody agrees pretty solid?
Don't let me push your arm. There you go. All right.
Looking good. Looking good.
Don't go anywhere. Okay.
Something amazing.
All right, stay at the center. Push down. All right, good.
Whoa, still strong. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Stay up here. Stay right here. Stay right here. All right. Oh yeah, get a lady. Because we got strong women. Nanny Helen Burroughs. All right.
That's right. Nanny Helen Burroughs, our ancestor.
All right, let's see how strong this is. Resist, don't let me push down.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
All right, take a look at that. Good. All right, let's see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Oh. All right, so watch this. Can I have one of the black shirts?
I'm gonna Mr. Larry Kidd.
All right, so I'm gonna do this with an adult, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. You could be Superman.
Okay. You're gonna be Superman.
It doesn't matter how big or small you are. If you don't have certain information or knowledge, you can't protect yourself. For those who do have knowledge and want to use it. All right. So I hadn't planned on using an adult, but I just want them to see. It doesn't matter if you're a child or if you're an adult. Okay, you right-handed or left-handed? Right-handed. All right, stick out your right arm. Ball into the kiss. All right, let's just touch the shrimp and just push down, resist. All right, good.
Oh yeah.
All right, so stare at the center of the paper. All right, and resist. All right, good. And if you don't mind, just for the sake of using my right hand, hold this with your left. All right, stare in the center, stare at it, see it, feel it. Oh! All right, now you got some resistance, but y'all saw it go down a little bit, right? All right, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But I'm telling them I'm gonna push. I'm telling them to resist, right?
Yeah.
We got another non-believer.
I mean, like catching people off guard. Oh, okay. You catching them off guard. It's a possibility. Okay. Let's see.
I know what he's gonna try to do, so I gotta do a little something else.
Oh, I got it. demonstration, but the first thing I'm gonna do is just help you all analyze what you all observed. So can somebody who hasn't spoken yet tell me what you all saw? What happened? Speak. All right, what did you see happen?
What
did you observe?
So, when they were like doing it without any colors, they were doing it. When they stopped, when they were.
Hold on, wait.
Or when they looked at the like white, they resisted, and then when they looked at like something else, they didn't resist.
All right, they couldn't resist. So the first thing they looked at, they were able to resist. But the second, all right, the only reason I'm whispering in this young man's ear is because I've done this with him, so he knows it. So I don't want him to give it away. All right. So the second time, I put something else in front of them. All right. So what question should y'all be asking me? Yeah. So what did he look at the second time? So the first time he just saw, everybody saw a white sheet of paper. The second time they saw this. It's literally just a pink sheet of paper, just like you got off pink, you got off the pink, right? All right. Yeah. Question.
Everybody got some pink. What would happen if you showed them the pink and then back to the white?
Nothing. The same thing. They still would be able to resist the white, but with the pink. And I got another part to this second. What's my time check? Okay. Okay. So all right. So let me quickly explain it so we can wrap up. So the way that we see, the way that you all see, y'all have eyes to see. Light bounces off of an object. That light then bounces into our eyes, and then that sends a signal to our brain. All right. So not only is the brain perceiving that this is a color, but there's actually an action that is being sent with that message. And guess what that action is? To make you weak. To literally make you weak. The color pink literally makes you physically weak. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this, but in some football, like in some universities, like the home team, they'll have, red, whatever colors in their locker room, but in the opposite team, they paint pink. All right, because they understand the colors of power pink. I know you all are too old to get fired, but as an adult, typically if you get fired from your job, they give you, or used to give you, what's called a pink slip. And they give you a pink slip, so when you get fired, you don't bug out and perk out and start, doing some violent stuff. All right, think about this. When baby girls are born in the hospital, what's the first color that we put on them? Pink. All right, so automatically, as soon as young girls are born in this world, they automatically associate with weakness. All right, and that's not by accident. Okay, so we're gonna do this last part of this demonstration, and then we're gonna. All right, then we're gonna wrap it up. All right, so she gotta meet you again. All right, so what we're gonna do now, because we're still dealing with energy. So now that we know that color is energy, all right, every color, red, yellow, blue. Every color has an impact on you. It's either going to be good or bad. But if you don't know that, you'll just think, oh, it's nothing. It's just, it's just happening randomly. All right, but nothing happens randomly. So I'm going to ask you to put your right hand back up. All right, I'm going to ask you to hold this, and he is going to be looking at the pink. Hold that in your left. All right, hold it up. All right, now watch this. I'm going to add another element. So we got the visual energy, right, the colors, but now we're going to add sound, all right? All right, so what I'm going to do is keep your arm up, all right? I'm going to push down. I'm going to push down, and I still want you to resist, but the whole time I'm going to be playing a sound. Pay attention what happens from beginning to end, okay? Pay attention. Hold it up here.
What's the matter with it?
I know. Alright, so what happened?
Okay, so what I saw happen was when you were playing the sound, he was able to resist, but as soon as you stopped playing the sound, he wasn't able to.
Alright, so what's the next question you should be asking?
Me. Why?
More specific. You said you noticed about the color, and then I added another piece. What's your job? What should you be asking me about the sound?
I the sound effect.
Okay, you should be asking me what sound was I saying? Who knows music? What sound is this? It's
in the musical spectrum. Every single note in the musical spectrum corresponds to a color. I just played the C note. The C note corresponds to the color red. Red is actually a color of power and strength. So if I'm getting ready to box or I'm getting ready to maybe play a football game, I might wear red, whether it's underwear or maybe my jersey is red, but wearing that color red will literally give you power and give you strength. I don't care how big or small you are. So what I did was, as he was looking at the color pink, because what is the color pink? It's a muted red. If you take red and add white to it, you get pink, okay? And so when I played the sound that corresponds with the color red, which gives you strength, that sound overrode the energy that was coming into his eyes. So what that should tell you, I'll get to you in 1 second, is that sound, things that come into your ears, what you hear, is actually way more powerful than what you see, than what comes into your eyes. Now watch this. This was just literally one note. It's just one sound. But when you're listening to music, it's a whole combination of sounds.
For sure.
And what's that rapper's name? XXXTentacion. So I don't know if y'all know this, but y'all should go on YouTube and watch this video, because before he was killed, he actually talked about this. He talked about how music is being used to manipulate young people, and more specifically, music is being manipulated to make y'all not only hate yourself, but hate each other, to make y'all kill each other, to make y'all think it's okay to fight, and normalize all this behavior. Simply to accept, forget the words, forget the lyrics, music can do that. So imagine on top of the words, when you're saying, yeah, kid is motherfucking, all the cursing and all the violence. Y'all think it's just a song, y'all think it's just music, but it's literally planting seeds in your mind that will make you do things that your mama or you had no clue that you ever had the potential to do, all right? So it's important to understand that there are different ways to control people, all right? Music is one of them, and sound is one of them, all right? So, with that being said, I think that's everybody.
If you wear like red or something to like maybe like a boxing match or something, or a football game, wouldn't that make like the other person, because they're looking at your like clothes and stuff, wouldn't that make them stronger? Like to where if you were pink to like something over there and they looked at you, they would make them weaker, so you could.
All right, so you do have a point, and that's why I said you could wear it as underwear, besides like you still having it on, even though it can't be seen by others, it's still energy. It's still going to impact you, but watch this. If I know about the power of the color red, even though I'm wearing it, I can activate that energy even more by being intentional. And it's just, well, I don't want to go too far off, but there is a way to neutralize it. So for example, DJ Flavor, he didn't believe it, all right? He didn't believe that it could work. So if DJ Flavor understood the power of the color pink and knew it before I did this, all he would have to say is, whether it's a mantra, whether it's an affirmation, even thinking of the color red. In his head, he can hum the C note. He can do whatever it is to minimize the effects of the color pink, but you gotta have the knowledge. And if you don't have the knowledge, then you don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle yourself in a particular situation, all right? So as I wrap up, I'm just gonna encourage you all to do this. You all are still students. You're in school. Y'all have a long way to go, all right? The next time you have to take a major test, I encourage you to use colors to your advantage. Most, nowadays it's a lot of different colors, but most highlighters and even notepads used to be what color? Yellow. Well, yellow, all right? The color yellow actually stimulates your brain. It actually helps you think better, helps you focus better, it helps you remember. So the next time you have a test, use a highlighter or put a yellow sheet of paper in the background as you're studying, because your subliminally, your mind, that energy is going to pick up, it's going to pick you. Your body will pick up the energy and help you do what you need to do. So study colors so you can understand how to use them and how to protect yourself, and just know that everything is energy, and everything you need to protect yourself, you have inside of you. Okay?
That was really powerful. Anybody here that cannot acknowledge that was really powerful? We all agree, right? That was powerful. All right, so that's going to take us to our next segue. Sister Abadra is going to explain to you what's inside of your folder, and we're going to get right into it.
Okay. So, Sister Atlantis already talked about sound, right? She already talked about sound. But now we're going to move into what actually happens when you're reading the lyrics. Even though she stated that, okay, all of that really doesn't matter because we're clear that you're being manipulated with other things. But what if you know the words and you repeat those words every day? So inside of your folder, everybody has a folder, open those folders up.
Okay. There should be a folder.
All right, inside of the folder.
Everybody doesn't have
You will hold the paper, but inside they have enough, okay? Now you have groups, you have a group of 5. That's what we want you to have. Because inside of your folders, you will have a evaluation.
So with your 5 team members.
Okay. You will have an evaluation sheet, all right? And you will also have a deeper dive into the lyrics sheet. So these 2 sheets, and because you're in groups of 5, you are going to share in this discussion. That's why you each have, it's like 2 in the stack, all right? Because we're going to talk. These 2. Okay? So we are going to evaluate lyrics. All right? So let's look at this first one, this sheet right here. And if you have it, I want you to read the word. I want somebody to read the first thing for me. So once you get this sheet of paper out, if you don't have it, raise your hand, or if you're in your group of 5 so that you can see. Okay, y'all don't have none in your group? Okay. Right here, we need 2 more over here. All right, I'll give it to you. Here, that's the other side. All right, so this sheet right here, can somebody read that first thing for me?
Yes.
The first one.
Me.
You have it? Okay, cool.
This one right here.
This one right here. Right there. Yep. What does that say?
What is the theme of the song?
Good. What's the theme of the song? What's the next one? Somebody shout it out. How does the song make you feel? What's the next thing? One more time.
What words are being repeated or phrased?
What words are being repeated in a phrase? What's the next one? What's the next one? What is the author saying to us? Is that the last one? What's the next one? Okay, one more time.
How does the beat and melody influence the way you move your body?
How does the beat and melody, what is it? Impact the way you move or influence the way you move your body. All right? So we have that. So we have a question to ask. All right? Popular amongst you. But I'm going to put the name out there, and if this is a name that is popular to you and you like their music, raise your hand up high. Sexy Red. Oh! Okay, well wait a minute. I gotta ask a question, okay? So, now, you didn't raise your hand, but raise your hand if you heard of it. If you heard. Okay, cool. Everybody at least heard of it. All right. And I did ask you, the first question was whether or not you like the artist. So let me ask you one more time. Do you like the artist? Raise your hand. I'm excited about that. Okay. So, what we had next was...
Take the Bible. We do have one person that says she likes it.
Okay. Okay, hold on. We have one. I didn't know.
It's okay. You don't have to do it.
I like how her music gets everybody moving and everybody energetic. Yeah, I just love black women music.
Okay. So she said that she likes the way that her music gets everyone moving, right? And she just likes black women music. You said you like her as well? You want to tell us why? You just like her. Okay, so we want you to hold that thought because her opinion is not in isolation of many people, right? Because while the majority of you are not in favor of Sexy Red, there are. So clear your table so that your lunch is coming, but we don't want the lunch to stop the presentation.
We don't, but
so we want to keep doing it. Yeah.
up to read it, right? Now, I, on the other hand, wanted to put it up because of the shock factor of how vulgar, and they talked about pornography earlier with health, and then we even talked about sex being a big issue, right? So the words in itself always does some kind of influencing. So what we had to do was change songs, okay? Because we couldn't take it, and we have elders here, and I say get wrong, but oh well. All right. So what was the name of that song though? It was Sexy Red, and what was the title? I forgot the title. It was one with Drake.
Everything. Everything.
What was it?
Everything.
It was called Everything. Everybody heard that song before at least? Oh yeah, see, this is what I know. So know that those lyrics are beyond gross, right? And beyond explicit. But now, now we're gonna put up another song and we're gonna look at those lyrics instead. So what you're gonna do is, while we evaluate this song, we're gonna use this as our template to respond to the lyrics. We know we're looking for the theme, the mood, the vocabulary that's repeated, the message in the song, the beat and the melody, and the overall effect it has on you.
And before we do that, how many of us know what it means to analyze something? Raise your hand if you know what it means to analyze, because all of you are either middle or high school, and you're constantly analyzing, evaluating, right? So when we say we want to analyze something, what does that mean? Okay, what do you think it means? To know something fully? Okay, to know something fully. What do you think it means?
Closely examine.
Ooh, to examine. That's the language, yes. Nice. To examine, to break it down. Anything else? To understand it. So what we have done is we have created a tool for you to use to examine, to closely understand, to break it down, right? The music that you listen to. Because we've already showed you that what you hear can be more powerful than what you see. And we already established that the music that you listen to, when you're listening to it and you're saying it over and over again, you're affirming it. It becomes your affirmation. And that's power, right? So we want to demonstrate to you how you can analyze and evaluate the music that you listen to determine if it's
constructive or destructive.
Right. So we want you to determine whether or not the music choice that you have is constructive. What does constructive mean? Constructive. What does that word mean? Anybody want to take a shot at it? When we say something is constructive, say to build.
To build.
Oh, great. These children are extremely intelligent. To build. Constructive. What else? What does constructive mean? If something is constructive.
You know, we're building.
We're building. Anything else? If it's constructive.
We're building. What else we doing?
What's the opposite of constructive? Destructive. So what is constructive? We know what destructive is, right? But what is constructive? Says somebody.
Creation.
Okay, creation. Anybody else? Constructive. Somebody look it up for us. What does it mean that something is constructive?
Somebody's on their phone, because several people still on their phone. Go ahead and look up constructive for us.
All right, tell us what constructive is.
We got that up, but there's no internet. Okay.
We do have That's good.
Okay, what you got?
All right, what is constructive?
Says serving a useful purpose, tending to build up.
Whoa! So somebody already said, who said to build? It was this baby right here, right?
Yeah,
She's absolutely right. Serving a what purpose?
Useful purpose.
Useful purpose, right? To build. Now, tell us what destructive means.
Did you pull that up? Anybody pull that up?
What is destructive? To destroy. So we are going to determine whether and we gave you a tool whether the music you listen to builds up yourself, your family, your community, or does it destroy it? It's pretty powerful, right? All right, let's go. You ready,
All
sis?
right. So we got the words up here. We're going to scroll up a little bit so you can see it.
Do we want
Anybody familiar with
DJ
this
Flavor
song?
to play it a little bit or not?
Oh, DJ Flavor, can you play that for us a little bit?
All
so
right,
we can
anybody
hear it?
familiar with this particular song?
Anybody know this song? Players?
Okay, players. Anybody know?
Oh, if not, DJ Flavor is going to give us a little taste so then we'll know.
Okay, so nobody, you all don't know this song? Players. Okay, okay.
What it make you do? What does it make you do?
Okay, you can put it down.
Y'all hear the beat?
Right? Okay.
All right, well, no, it's not funny enough. I get it.
All right, so you feel, make you feel like you want to move, right? You want to get into it. Okay.
All right. Hold up. All right. So you.
What is the theme, Sister Bajwa?
What is the theme? What is the theme?
So
Can
you
anybody
all
talk
are
about
all
the
learning about theme, or if you're not, you learned it in middle school. What's a theme? When we say theme, what does theme mean?
Like the gist.
Okay, the gist or the central idea, maybe. Oh, we got a English teacher. English teacher. We have an English teacher over there, right? Right here.
What's the actual
What's the theme? What's the theme?
The central idea or
Central idea.
pretty much.
That's right. So the central idea. So Mama Bajwa.
Yeah.
So if I had to select a theme for this song,
Right.
what would be the central idea for you?
I need to. They're talking about players. I'm sorry. They're talking about players. So if I look at the lyrics of that, I know the theme is about girls and what girls can be too. They're making a comparison, right? They're making a comparison about, I guess, what they consider a player to be.
Right.
So they're kind of giving you this full definition of what players
And
do.
getting money at any
Getting
cost,
money,
right?
getting involved, it doesn't matter. Whatever their assumption is about what players are.
Okay, then they asked us about the mood. What is mood? What is mood? Can you tell us what the mood is? Okay, so situation. But mood has to do with what? How you what? It makes you what? Feel, right?
Yeah,
so
how it
when you
makes you
hear this
feel.
song, how does it make you feel? Now I know you all are eating, but this is a working lunch. So you still have to stay engaged. Okay? I know that fried chicken good to you. I know.
Right? Everybody got a taste in their mouth. I'm sure you're salivating. All those things that Mama talked about is working. All right? We got good brain food. So, go ahead.
So the mood.
The mood.
How
What
does
do
it
we
make you
feel?
feel when you hear that song? Because some of us started snapping our fingers and moving a little bit. How did it make you feel? Like you wanted to get jiggy with it?
Get jiggy. Okay. Somebody said it made them feel get jiggy. Who else? Anybody else got a feeling of a mood? Because some people probably didn't know the song. So when you didn't know the song and you heard it, what did you generally think? Anybody?
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna move. Okay.
So we talk about the vocabulary, right? So as I look up here, sis, I see the B word, I see the N word, right? And so it's a lot of vocabulary that I would say is not necessarily constructive.
Okay. Right. And so what they're asking is whether or not it was repeated often too.
Okay. So then
All
that
right.
means that we would count. So we see the B word. So if we know that that word is not constructive and it's destructive, we're going to count the number of times that B word is in that song, or the N word, or any profanity, right? So we're modeling for you what you're going to do in your group. All right. So then we look at the messages in the music. What is the author talking to us about? What is what is the person saying? What was the whole point of this song?
And we'll give y'all a moment to kind of look at these lyrics. Somebody else? Say it again. Money?
Okay, money.
It's something expensive. Something expensive.
Okay. All right, and then we look at beat and melody. So you know the beat is good, right? It make you feel like you want to dance. And black people, we like beats.
We like rhythm. We like movement.
It's all in part about who we are. Our constitution is in us, right? And so we are very attracted to a good rhythm, a good beat. Sometimes we say things like, well, I really wasn't listening to the music because the beat was good. Right?
That's
all
it.
right.
But sometimes it's just the hook. You only like the hook. You don't listen to the full lyrics. You just like some of the words that are being repeated because they are catchy. Okay.
All right. So then you're going to talk about or think about the overall effect, right? How will listening to this song repeatedly influence your thinking and behavior? Would you play this song for your younger siblings or cousins? Why or why not?
Oh no.
Would you play this song for your grandmother or grandfather?
Oh, no.
Why or why not? So those are the things that we're going to do to analyze these songs that you're going to hear.
All right. Yes.
So I need you to just pause on your chicken sandwich for a second and look at the top and you see the scale, right? So you're going to use that scale to rate each of those questions. You're going to put a number in the box. You see that? And whatever score you come up with will determine whether it's constructive or destructive.
Right. And you have the other sheet that does that. Because what we just talked about, that's the sheet where you're actually writing it out. How the song made you feel, how it made you move, you're writing. But then when you get your evaluation tool, you're then giving it a grade. All right? And so on that top sheet that Sister Tia was talking about, you have your numbers. Those numbers that tell you, okay, from 1 to 4, it was, what are they saying? Circle at the top of that evaluation sheet. What do they say with that score? You can take this one. Okay? So at the top of that it says, 1 means I am not affected at all. And then 4, I imitate the language and try to live like the artist as much as possible. All right? So number 1 simply states, okay, I'm not even tripping. This song doesn't affect me in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So you know if you're going to 2, it's maybe a little bit. 3, I'm getting closer to being impacted by it. And 4, it just totally takes control. All right? So that's what you're going to be evaluating. So that's the song we put up there just to walk through. We're going to hand you another song that you're going to look at the lyrics and go ahead and do the evaluation and give a grade to that song. Any questions about that?
This is one of my students too.
I'm Flavor. I work for Radio 1, TV 1, and I'm from Washington, D.C.
All right, so we're going to start with Jala. 20 years old. He's a filmmaker. He actually has credits on Netflix. He's worked with Ava DuVernay. Anybody familiar with her? Yes, she's very popular in the film industry. She really is. He also works under the tutelage of Baba Ali Jarima. And you're probably too young, but he is known for his movie Sankofa, which is absolutely outstanding. So this young man has done a lot in his young life, right? And so Sister Abadal and I wanted to have this conversation with the two of you because as we talked about what the students hear, Mama Barbara said, well, John deals with visual, right, images. And so let's speak to him about what you see. So a lot of times when you see the music videos, right, that accompany the songs, these images are very sharp. And somebody had to move through a process, right, for you to see what's before you. So we would like for you to speak about what that process is for you. So another thing about Jala is he creates a lot of music videos for artists as well. And his work is outstanding, and so is DJ Playboy. We're going to talk about him in a second. And so what is your creative process, right? And so what process do you move through to get to what we see? Because we see the finished product and it's amazing, the imagery is beautiful, but we don't know what your process is. So can you talk to them about that? And then anything else you want to add about your work that I may not have included?
Okay. So the process, when it comes to working with artists?
Artists, when it comes to creating the imagery with the videos and films and things like that.
Okay. So when it comes to working with the artists, a lot of times they'll reach out, be like, hey, I'm trying to shoot a video for us. And they'll send maybe like 3 songs that they want to shoot. And the process from there, really, you start off with just the question of what they were talking about and what they had in mind for what they wanted to shoot. Right? They talk about other ideas, cool. And you keep that in mind, and then I'll go in and I'll listen to the song maybe 3 times, right? And I just write down the first things that come to my mind when I listen to it. And we get on the phone, we talk about it. Okay, this is what I thought of, this is what you thought of, let's try and create something. So then I send over the lyrics after I've already listened to the song a couple times, so I can have my own idea of what I wanted to think. Then we'll really break it down, write out every individual shot, schedule, figure out a budget, go shoot, edit. That's the process.
All right. So the next question that I have for you is, what's most important for you? Is it your creative process? Is it the money, right? Because of course this is not work that you're doing for free. And if it is the money, how much are you willing to compromise? Because you know that there's a saying with our young people now, get that bag, right? And so as long as you get that bag, it doesn't matter how you get the bag, how it impacts your brain, how it impacts your family, how it impacts your mental health, because you got the bag. And so with this new idea behind integrity can be compromised because of money, have you bought into that? And be honest, be honest.
Of course we need money to survive, right? I'm a filmmaker, that's my job, that's how I make my bread, that's how I make my life, right? But at the end of the day, the most important thing to me is being able to be a storyteller and tell a story that I can relate to and I understand. So it's even when it comes to budgets, right? A lot of times when you're working with local artists, people can't put $15,000, $20,000 into a music video at the stage of their career. You might be like, oh yeah, I got $200, $300. And if the story makes sense and I can relate to it, then I absolutely would shoot it and I absolutely put my 100% into it. So the most important thing to me is telling the story that I relate to.
Wow, awesome. So, and I appreciate that because with that, right, which would go longer? The fact that you as an artist appreciate the story being told, or if you really kind of just put it down and go for the money, which one do you think over time is going to be more beneficial for you as you grow in your career?
Definitely telling that story because it'll show in your work. And as you get into further stages in your career and people look at what you've done, they can see the authenticity of what you're doing versus just, carbon copy of everything else that everybody's shooting so you get some bread.
And it also carves out a place for you, that'll be your niche, right? You tell good stories, people know you can tell good stories, and they're gonna come to you. They're gonna bring the money to you. Okay, all right. So my last question is, in terms of that, how do you as a creator think outside of that box to who is gonna be viewing it, right? You see all of the young people here, some of them high school, some of them middle school. The image and the story that you're telling, do you think about whether or not it's going to impact them, or is it really just about what you do, your own goals?
It's a mix of both. I'm young too, so I know a lot of us young people, we go through the same things. We have a lot of similar thought processing. So it all sort of correlates. But a lot of times it's based off of sort of my personal life experiences and what I know, because that's the only way that I can tell a true story, right? So that's sort of what I focus on the most, in collaboration with the artists and having a conversation about what they understand and what they're trying to do. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And last question, is there something that, like, what's your deal breaker that an artist will come to you and say, look, Darla, I heard you were a bomb storyteller. This is my story. I need you to tell it. And it's something that is just explicit. You really, that's not you. It doesn't fit your value system. You turning it away, or are you gonna accept it to tell somebody else's story?
So that's a tricky question. It's like, at the end of the day, right, if I'm committed to telling an authentic story, if it's not something that I agree with, right, which is like something that's like, nah, then I'm not gonna go shoot it. But if it's just something that I don't understand, I'm gonna take the time to try and understand that story and why I would want to tell that story. Because just because I don't understand it doesn't mean it's a bad story. So,
okay, so you take your thought process. Okay. All right, let's give Jala a hand. Now, we're gonna move to DJ Flavor, but does anyone have any additional questions for Jala? I mean, he's a filmmaker. What you got?
What's the most famous person that you've shot like music?
Okay. Most famous artist you've worked with.
Okay, the most famous artist I've worked with. Y'all know Huncho? Yeah.
MC Huncho?
No, he's a. Is this Huncho?
He's a rapper. He's a rapper. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous.
That's your most famous of your group. Okay, any other questions? Okay, what you got?
What's the favorite, like, when you shot the video, who was your favorite?
What was your favorite?
Who was your favorite person you shot?
Of the favorite person that you shot a video for? Your favorite person you shot a video for?
The favorite person I shot a video for was probably one of my close friends, Wayne. We just grew up together. That's one of my homies, Wayne. We grew up together, and he had a project that was really personal to his life that I understood. And I was just very grateful to be able to shoot it. So yeah.
Very nice. We just might play that too, just so they can see it. Anybody else? Last question. Last question. Go for it, real quick.
Have you like shot a movie?
Yeah.
Like create a whole movie that was like hosted on like Netflix or something?
Okay, so yeah, I didn't direct it. I was the second assistant director on a project called Residue on Netflix. It's actually about gentrification in Washington, D.C.
Very good. Nice. Powerful. So y'all gotta check that out. Residue on Netflix, okay? Netflix, flex. All right. Netflix. All right. Okay, another round of applause for Jala. And y'all gonna look for his name, because he's gonna be out here. So I'm gonna hand the mic, so DJ Flavor already simply stated who he was. Did he say what radio station? Yeah. Okay, what's radio station? Wait a minute. Okay, 93.9. Okay, so my first question. All right, we listening? All right, because it's the radio, we often see it from visual to now. My first question to you, DJ Flavor, is what is the process of music that's played in rotation that we hear on the radio every day? What's that process?
Well, first the song has to be made, right? So once it's made and it's a song of quality, then usually the artist or a representative will send the music to the radio station. Back in the day, it was through a record, a tape, a CD. Now it's through an MP3, usually by email. A representative may come to the station and meet with the music director and or program director. Those are the people that put the songs on the radio. And they meet with those people, and then there's a decision made whether or not they're going to add it to the playlist. There's another side to that. Now, that's just regular format. That's when you hear the song play, the whole thing plays, and it goes out, and then you hear the drop that says, it's 92.9 WKYS, Jose Papanami in the DMV. You hear that, right? And then it goes to the next song. Well, that's programming. Then there's also a meeting that takes place with the mixers, where the artist may come into town and the record rep may come to town and have a meeting with the DJs. Those are the guys that actually play the mixes that you hear. So you might hear like the noon mix, or the midday, afternoon mix if you're driving home, or an evening mix at night, or maybe something that happens over the weekend, right? And you hear the music and it's an endless flow for about 15 to 20 minutes. Well, those guys are also, like myself and the personalities, we're the ones that are in the club. So they want us to play the music. So they will have a meeting with us, and then the mix show coordinator will say, and the program director, they will have a meeting, and the music director will say, okay, we will add this, but this song will only be played in mixes, okay? So that's how it's added. That's one of the ways that it's added. The other way that it's added is if it is submitted by the artist just from the internet. So if you go to the radio station's website, 939 or KYSDC.com, if you go to the website, and there's a link on there where you can submit your song.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, so as a DJ, how many years do you want to tell that?
I started DJing when I was 11. I came on the radio when I was 14.
Ooh, okay. So all of the years that you've put in, how many times have you kind of felt like a song that you knew was going to be in rotation, and you had to play it, but you were like, oh my gosh, I don't want to put this song out. This song really doesn't have value for me, and I don't want anybody else hearing it. Do you ever have those kind of conversations?
That happens all the time with myself, and it really started. In the mid to late 90s, when a lot of the southern songs started coming out, a lot of the Dirty South. Those songs, when they started coming, like the Master P's and stuff like that, it really started eating at me. I was like, man, I gotta figure this out, because this is messing with my soul. So I had to actually get into the music, and there was one point in time where I literally sat for like 3 days and just drilled the music in my head, in the car. That's like the only thing I did, so that I could try and figure out where those people were, to get to how they feel, so I could have an understanding of what this is I'm about to play, and whether or not I should play it or not.
Wow, okay, so it's a process. All right, so I guess my other question is, so if we're going to advocate for ourselves, and let's say for instance as a parent, and I'm a parent, and there's music that's out here, i.e. Sexy Red, we talked about it, that's just kind of in rotation. And I'm like, I really don't want to hear that in rotation all the time. Is there a way for people to be able to communicate to say, hey, we don't want this on the radio anymore? Is there a process for that, or does that exist at all?
It does, and actually we have a promo is something that you hear that we talk about on a regular basis at the radio station. We talk on the air, and we actually ask our listeners, because you all matter to us, we ask, will you please go to KYSDC.com and tell us what songs you want to hear and what songs you don't want to hear, because you all are the ones that we want to play the music for. We're not playing it for ourselves, we're playing it for the listeners. And if the listeners are not proactive, then whatever is popular is usually what ends up getting played.
So your voice matters.
Your voice does matter. It makes so for example, a lot of you all may say, well, I don't listen to the radio for whatever reason, because I don't know if you know, but you have the radio on your phone. You have access to listen to the station on your phone. It's not just the streaming services that you are, like, it's not just regular streaming service. Radio stations stream as well. We stream our entire show. So you can literally go to KYSDC.com, click the button right there, and it says listen, and boom, you're listening to the radio station. You can say, hey Siri, play 93.9 WKYS. And boom, she'll pop up and she'll do it. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's phone might have went to it just now. But my point in saying that is that there is a place there that you can click on it and say, I don't want to hear this song. And if all of you all did it, and you went through it, and you all collectively made a change, it will change the station. It will change the whole sound that you're hearing right now.
Okay, awesome. That's amazing. Okay, I didn't know we had that much power to actually change that, so that's a good thing. So I'm gonna go to questions real quick because I had one more. But
Let me add one more thing to that. So you mentioned songs that I want to hear.
Yes.
So every go-go song, basically, that's a hit song, from One Leg Up, which some of you all may know, to Sexy Lady. Hands in the air if you know the song Sexy Lady on Call Cocaine. Every one of those songs are hits that I put on the radio. Okay? Those are hit songs that Mandingo, these are songs that I made hits on the radio. And those songs are international songs at this point. My reason for mentioning that is because I did it with a go-go show. Now the go-go show was originally at 2 a.m. in the morning on a Friday night. That's pretty late to be up, right? But people were listening to it. And the show was so hot that they gave me a second show on the radio at 9 p.m. on a Sunday evening. That for you all at this point in time, it may be late, but back in that time period, that was a very prime time to be on the air. So, and the reason that happens because people kept saying, we want to hear more go-go. And those shows were 1-hour shows. They went from being a 20-minute show to a 1-hour show, and that's because the listeners said, we want to hear Flav, and we want to hear go-go at this time, and that's what happened.
So I got a question back here, then here. What you got?
My question is about what is it called? The giveaways y'all be doing, and like wait, that go radio station to radio station like $1,000, win $1,000 if you call or that's.
Okay, so what's your question about?
So when you all have, when you call in, and you give away,
Yes, what's your question? Yes, we're at the station that does that at $1,000 a day, yes. $100 a day with DJ A&G.
Like, what's the process? Like, does it?
How do you win the money?
No, it's not a scam, it's real. We're literally sitting there answering the phones and going down the phone to find out if you're going to be calling 19 or not. Or if you say, you click the phone. If you don't say I vote yes, KYS, when I answer the phone, then, for example, I'm like, yeah, they've heard me on the radio many times. Yo, it's 90.930 KYS, most hip hop and R&B in the DMV. DJ Flavor shows a Sunday. Yo, I'm trying to hook somebody up with these tickets right now. Hey, yo, what's up? Who is this? As soon as I say, who is this, you're supposed to say, I vote yes, KYS, and then say your name. If you don't say that, or if you say, or I say, because I'm asking a question, right? Now I say, who is this? And then you say your name, and then I say, what's up? Then you'll say, I vote yes, KYS. And she would not get no money, no tickets, no nothing. You know, so yeah. But it's real. We actually do win. And if you do the text number, if whatever the text code is, I can't remember right off the top of my head what up, because there's a couple of them. But if you do the text code, yes, we literally sit in the studio or in the office and find a person that we literally close our eyes and like, bing, bing, and that's the winner.
And does it cost money to call?
No, it's free. Unless you, I mean, if you text whatever, if you don't have unlimited text, then yeah, that will cost you.
Have you ever accidentally like done hot mics before? Like accidentally left the mic on and said some stuff?
Oh. Yes. That was way early on in my career, but yes, I have left the mic. I have left the microphone before. And was talking, but I didn't say any bad words or anything like that. But yeah, I had a conversation, and then there's a light that shows up and it starts blinking in the studio, and the hotline is being rang, and it's like, yo, Flav, your mic is on. Oh.
Are there any other questions? You can ask questions to both.
All right. Yeah, we got both. Yeah, go ahead. What's your?
So, what part of your life made you realize that you actually made it? Like you made something.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. And I like for both of y'all to answer.
Yeah, well, how do you know?
At what point did you realize I made it?
Clearly she feels that you're both successful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Man, I would say I was about 24. About 24 years old when I realized, I was like, man, I'm really here. Financially, mentally, a lot of those things took place. I became a millionaire by the time I was 27. But right before that took place, I was looking at all the places I had traveled to. When I was 19, I started flying like all over the country. By the time I was 21, I was flying out of the country. And I've been to 42 of the 50 states, 43 of the 50 states. And I'm on like 3 passports, right? I'm not bragging, but this is all by the time I was 24 years old. And in addition to that, I have other jobs and things that I do. When I started working for the Postmaster General, and I was one of the marketing and promotions coordinators for the Postmaster General. That's the person that runs the entire post office. And during the unveiling of the Hero Stand, which is for 9/11, down at Ground Zero and here in DC, I was like, yo, I'm actually here. I'm actually doing this. And not only that, but also DJing for a number of artists. Some of y'all may not know this artist. Her name is Yo-Yo. You know Yo-Yo?
Heard of it.
I have never gone on a cruise before. Last year, she called me because I DJ a lot for her on the East Coast. She's from the West Coast. She called me, she said, Flavy, what you doing on this date, May something 2023? I was like, I don't know. She said, but I need you between this date and this time. I was like, that's a whole week. What, we going on tour or something? She said, nah, boo, we about to go on a cruise. What? I've been around this world numerous times, and I've never paid for any trip that I've ever taken. Not one. So yes, those are like the times when I realized, yo, I'm here, and I got my new name.
So Jala, that's your last, because I know Jala is also a teacher, so he is going to be on his way, but I want him to ask a question, answer it, because you may not be there yet, but you could feel that you're on your way. What does that look like?
Yeah, I definitely ain't made it yet, but I do feel like I'm on the way though, specifically this year. I've been doing a lot of traveling for work, it's been all expensive paid and all that. And I've been working with a lot more like record labels and stuff like that, having a lot more conversations with these different rooms and working with more like, I guess higher, like, I guess more famous artists as well, getting my name out there. So it feels like I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm getting paid to do it. So I guess that's all I gotta say to it. I ain't making it yet though. Yeah.
You are on your way. Okay, excellent, excellent.
And to that point, when he said I ain't made it yet, it all depends on what a person thinks of what they make it is. I was able to make my dreams come true, most of them, and now I'm doing bucket list stuff. So to make it, I don't know what that really completely looks like. It just means that I've been able to fulfill many of my dreams.
I do have one final question, because I know Jala has this. I know that Jala does have to leave us because he is teaching. We need to get back to his students. But before you go, because you are such a young man and you have someone next to you who's done a lot of the work that I'm sure that you are aspired to do. So that's a good mentor that you just put out there. So what are your goals? And so you, at 20, you've already done so much, right? There's so much more to do. But can you tell us what your goals are? What do you aspire to do? How do you want to leave your mark? And you also mentioned being a storyteller, right? And so when you say that you are a storyteller, what type of stories do you tell when you wish to tell in the future?
I guess those two questions sort of go hand in hand because the answer.
Then you can leave like that.
Yeah, I guess the answer to both of those is just to be able to continue to tell like true and authentic stories. That's always like been my number one goal. Like to my parents' story. A lot like all of us like if you talk to your parents and you talk like what did you go through when you was younger? Like just listen to them tell you about their everyday life. Those could be movies right there. And I might just be talking to people and listening to them talk about, oh yeah, this happened to me last week, this happened to me last night, yo, that was crazy. A lot of those times it could just be a simple movie and that would honestly impact so many people because you never understand that so many other people are going through the same things as you. So I guess my goal is just to be able to spread those stories and help you understand that you're not alone and a whole lot of other people are going through what you're going through and you can find solace, you can find help in that work.
I have a question for you. So what is the short, have you ever done a short movie or a short story?
That's in production right now.
Wow, okay.
All right, short story. Can't wait. Awesome.
Angela.
We're going to continue with DJ Play. Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions for DJ Play? No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you a millionaire still?
I alluded to that a little bit. So I did get sued because I didn't do my taxes properly. So as you get older, make sure you do your taxes right. And now, instead of having it all in liquid, where at one point I had it liquid meaning in cash money, now it is in assets, which is a completely different state of mind. A lot of change has to happen. So anybody ever watch like a movie and they say, they go to like this multi-millionaire and they say, hey, I need all the money right now or I'm going to kill your child.
Oh, no.
And the man says, I don't have that on me. And then the criminal was saying, hey, yes you do. No, they don't, because if they're smart, it's in assets and it takes time. It could take 30, 40, 60 days to get to that money. Because that person has to probably sell a property off in order to get to it. Yes?
What are some examples of assets?
I just alluded to that, property. Most of my money is in real estate. So I own properties. And just in DC area alone, I own 8 properties. But I also started doing it very early when I was 18, 19 years old. So properties, businesses, okay? This business within itself is millions of dollars. So the person may own it, but they may not have access to that money readily available to just take out the bank. And you just can't go to a bank and just take that money out. It's just that's not realistic. Yes?
Yes.
Was it a point in time where you were like really financially like, how do I say it? Like you just splurged on stuff that you didn't have?
Man, yes. That's what part that got me in trouble. So one thing I want to tell you that I come from very humble beginnings first. Let me get to that point. Because I had to work to this. I grew up in foster care in a group home. Right here in DC. Not only that, anybody know what foster care is? Anybody know what group homes are? Okay, all right. I did know my mother and father, just so you know. I was homeless when I was 19. I was living on these streets while I was on the radio. While on the radio, yes, I was homeless. I was couch surfing. I was living downtown like the guys, that the people you see downtown. I had my clothes in a backpack. I was washing up in the McDonald's bathroom.
Wow.
So I was splurging. This is while I was at Postal. I was making so much money there. I would go to the bar, and at that time period, I wasn't even drinking alcohol. I was buying the alcohol for other people. And I would come to a happy hour, which is between the hours of 4 and 7, and they would have drinks. And I would literally say, everybody at the bar buying all their drinks. And the bartender would just go and start making drinks for everybody. And people was like, well, who's buying the drinks? I said, I don't even need to know I don't need them to know that it's me. I'm just splurging because I wanted to see everybody else have a good time on my dollar. Yes. And it sent me the wrong direction though, really bad.
You're such a common person.
Okay. Any other questions?
Any questions about music and anything in reference to music or entertainment or even with businesses is fine. Yes.
Did you start at young, trying to be like on a radio and stuff, or like trying to be a DJ and stuff?
Yes, I was 11 years old. I was living in Chesapeake, Virginia, and my voice was not this deep. Yes. And I used to sing. And then puberty hit. I'm gonna make this real short. The guy, my neighbor, he was from New York and he had turntables. That's how I got introduced to the turntables. And by the time I came back to DC when I was 13, I said that I wanted to be on the radio. And by the time I was 14, I was on the radio. I saw some other hands back there, right there.
Did you have to go to college?
I did not go to college for radio. Again, I came on when I was 14 years old. So I did not go to school for broadcast or anything like that. I did eventually go to school. What actually happened is during that time period, right before I became homeless, I did go to the Computer Learning Center to be a network administrator. Anybody know what a network administrator is? That's IT. I went to school for IT. All right. I did my year there, got my certifications, and I wasn't able to use it immediately. Later on, about a year later, I started using that information. But I didn't go to college until later, and I went to a PWI. Anybody know what a PWI is? Say it? Yes, a predominantly white institution. I went to Cornell University. That's an Ivy League school. And I went there for family development, which is social work, and for marketing. So yes, and I have certificates in that. Those are 6-month, very extremely hard courses specifically for that. There's no math or anything else. It's about the job itself. Yes? Sorry? Oh, I mean, that was the story that I told you. That's how I got in. Was, oh, you mean how do I get on the radio or into music? I just started singing when I was a kid, and I just knew I loved it. So I wanted to find something else to do. Yes?
Did you have any time to like party while you were in like that?
Did I have a party?
Yeah.
No. So by the time I decided to go to school, partying, I'd already done all the partying that I needed to do, so I wasn't interested in partying. And even when I was a kid, younger, I partied, but it was because I was at work partying. To tell you the truth, I don't even like to really be out unless I'm at work. If I'm not at work, you won't find me in a club. Yeah. So if she asks if people could book me, yes, you can book me. I want to stand up because I bought this whiteboard for a reason. Because I'm sure you guys want to ask some other type of questions if we can get into it. And I know Atia might want to ask those questions. Remember when we were talking yesterday. But yes, you can book me and a lot of other DJs. For me, being in a club is not my main thing. I prefer to do private events and concerts. Those are my favorite things. I love doing community events. Those are my favorite things. If I'm not doing that, and that goes to my integrity. Why do I not want to be in a club? It's because I'm not interested in playing those songs. I'm not interested in seeing women degrade themselves the way that is being done. A lot of people think that it's okay, and for me, I don't think that it's okay for the way that music has sent us in a direction. And then being in the clubs, they're smoking a lot of marijuana and weed in those clubs. And that, I end up coming home smelling like it, and I'm catching contact from it. It's affecting me. So, any other last questions? Any other questions that pertain to you and anything that you want to know based on music, partying, concerts, the artists, how they get big? Anybody has want to be an artist? Yes.
Were you as good as you are now when you started off?
Was I? No, not even close. There's a lot of things that I learned along the way. Any aspiring artists in here? You are. So, what do you rap about? Do you rap or sing?
Rap, drum.
Rap and drum? So, how would you get your music on the radio? Huh?
Connections.
Give me the microphone. Connections. Yeah, connections matter. What are some of the things that you need to do in order to get it, not just on the radio, but to get it heard? Okay. All right, let me give you all this game plan for anybody that's interested in getting their music heard. How do most people hear your music nowadays? How do most of you all hear your songs now? YouTube, social media, Spotify. So does it just pop up? Does a new song just pop up? Okay, what about like TikTok? Yes. So you hear the snippet of the song on TikTok and then you click the link and then you find it, right? And the song goes viral, right? How does the song go viral? Views and people paying for it to go that way. Tell it. You gotta pay for that. So people will drop $1,000, $2,000 and boom, it's all over the place. Believe it or not, it really doesn't take that much. The main thing is that you have to have a good hook or something that's catchy. Now, most of the time, those songs don't last very long. Even the Sexy Red songs are not lasting that long. They came out and she can't even do a concert by herself. Do you know that? They hit for a second and then it was done. Most of the artists do not last long. Do you know what type of songs do last forever?
Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, but what type of song, huh? Instrumentals, huh? You say all songs last forever? Not exactly. When I say last forever, I mean it's a hit. No matter when you play it, people are going to party to it. What type of songs? Line dance songs, yes. But he's right with the catchy thing, but there's something about it. No. She said trap music. No. Songs that tell a story. Every song that you can think of that's still a hit song right now tells a story. And people like stories. So whether you're young or old, you tend to like the song. Tell me what song, and it's timeless. Tell me a song that I just played that's a timeless song that you will hear every single year. We play it every summer. Summertime. Okay? All right, so that's me for now. I'm done. We have another presentation.
All right, can we really give a loud, this is not often, at least that we encounter, artists in our community who are so passionate about their work and the young people, right? And so what I can say about DJ Flavor is that whenever we call on him, he answers, he responds. He is so passionate about this work, and I know you feel it, right? I know you feel it. So let's thank him again, please, for just always being here for us. Before we go into our next presentation by Brother Sam, we want to do a group picture. So we can call those young ladies back in, and they can go to the restroom after the group picture. Can somebody get those? Yeah. So we're going to do a group picture with the Baba, everybody. We can let's come to the front. The tall brothers are in the back. Okay, so then all these people on the end need to come in, right?
On this end right here. Squirt in. And the young lady that's, I can't see you, young man, get on the stage, young man, with the fly, get on the stage. You with the on the stage, yes. Yeah, I want you on the stage.
Okay. All right. Just for the picture. Just for the picture. Real quick. Okay, I think we're good too.
Young lady with the pink, squat down, cause you
Oh, that one. Oh, let her come to the front.
and have the young lady that's wearing the white and gray, have her sit in the chair. Take a chair, sit in the chair.
Sit in the chair?
You have her sit in the chair. Yes. All right.
Y'all ready, John? Turn this way.
All right.
All right, now, can we all give a good black fist?
Black fist, black power.
Can't see the people behind you.
Come on.
Yeah, the little young girl.
Yeah, we can't see behind you.
Yeah.
Not just her, just everybody behind you.
Okay. Right.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. All right. You gonna do the black power thing?
Yes.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power. Black power. All right. All right. Black power. Black power. Black power.
Therapy. I'm so honored to be able to speak to the future. You guys are the future. But in order for us to have a better future, we got to deal with what's wrong today. Please take a moment and raise your hand if you know someone who's been shot. Thank you. Please take a moment and raise your hand if you know somebody who has been or currently is in prison. Now the question is, do you think that's normal? If I ask a group of white children in the city, do you think we have a different answer?
Yes.
You think that's normal?
No.
Did you know that if you was born and lived in Georgetown, that you would live 20 years longer if you was born and lived east of the river?
Yeah.
Do you think that's normal? Everything I just described to you is the result of public policy. There are policies that are responsible for those negative outcomes. Did y'all know that this is the most dangerous city in all of America for a black woman to give birth?
That's kind of crazy.
That is beyond crazy. Because why? Black women are supposed to run this city. But unfortunately, those particular black women don't really care about any of the issues we just talked about. My name is Kamon Freeman. I'm running for Congress. Eleanor Holmes Norton, probably you don't even know who she is. She's been in office longer than any of you been alive. She has done incredible work years ago, but now we have a lot of gatekeepers that's maintaining those disparities I just pointed out to you. I founded an independent radio station called We Act Radio on the right other side of Martin King Avenue. It's a progressive talk radio station, so that's why most of y'all have never heard of it, because we don't play some of the music that you are familiar with. How many of y'all have ever repeated the words to a song you know you didn't like the first time you heard it?
Yeah.
How many of y'all repeated the words to a song you know you didn't like the first time you heard it? Okay? You have just confirmed the power that media has over your mind and even over your actions. Because whether you like it or not, it's coming out your mouth. Why would you do that? Because you hear it over and over. Repetition. That is the power of media. That's what DJ Flay was trying to share with you guys when he makes a conscious decision not to play something, because he knows the power of that. Y'all should go home tonight, sit with your parents, and watch Netflix, They Clone Tyrone.
I watched that.
It will show you the power they have over your mind, and also in the food. Did you not know this? That an undeveloped mind that's devoid of 4 key nutrients is 51% more prone to violent behavior.
Y'all did learn about that today, though, remember?
Garbage in, garbage out. And somebody, oh, you're making excuses for criminals. No, I'm not. If I give a little kid sugar, a bunch of sweets, and tell him to sit down, what's going to happen?
He gonna bounce around.
He's going to pop up or pop off, right? And they want to know what's wrong with our people. One more thing before I go. DC Water has lead pipes that they've been replacing in the city. Guess where the last places they're replacing them? Black communities and east of the river. They're supposed to have them all replaced by 2030. Now they're saying 2037. What they don't tell you is this. First of all, there's no safe level of lead in the human body. It's a negative detriment to your learning ability. But not only that, it contributes to violent behavior. If you're exposed to lead as a child, you are more prone to violent behavior. So when we have these senseless acts of violence, they don't want to tell you where it's coming from. My name is Kamon Freeman. I'm here to change the system. I'm here to flip tables like Jesus, and I need your support. I need y'all to believe in yourselves that you can change this system. You are the future. You get to determine what happens next. Everybody say, I got next.
I got next.
We got next.
We got next.
And what we going to do next?
What we gonna do next?
Say that one more time. I got some non-believers over here on their commercial NSA tracking devices. What are we going to do next?
What we gonna do next?
I'm trying to pour into you guys. These people who are here putting this event together, not because they was paid to, they're here to pour into you guys and possibly save your lives. We are losing young people at a high rate every single day. It's by design. Most of that music you listen to, is it positive or negative?
Negative.
We just showed you repetition does to you. If I tell this child, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, what are they going to do when they grow up?
Be stupid.
But if you hear negative songs all day about killing people, shooting people, and fighting people, or twerking on the floor, what are you most likely gonna do? All right, that's my time, man. Anybody here on their NSA tracking device want to follow me on social media? I would love you if you would do that. Go to IG and put in KYMONE. Nobody's feeling me. IG KYMONE. IG KYMONE. I have first name recognition and it's freedom. I hope to see you guys when I'm in office to see what I can do to change your situation in this city in our lifetimes. Thank you. Do something. KYMONE. And put it up for you ladies that's running this shop here today.
But hold on, brother. So I do want to acknowledge that Brother Camone is the reason why we were able to get this space. So can we again give him a round of applause? And whenever we reach out to Brother Camone about using space or just getting his support in any way, he's always like, okay, Queen, I got you. I appreciate that. I just So really think about what that means moving forward, because you got a lot of information today, a whole lot, right? And so what do you want to do with it? How are you want to use it to change lives? Because you have that much power. You learned about the power of sound, the power of color. You learned how even the biggest, strongest person in the room can be controlled just by the color pink. That's powerful to me, right? The strongest person in the room can be controlled by a color. And we proved that to you today, did we not? So think about the power that you have. You're way more powerful than a color if you tap into it. All right, so we have our final presentation for today, Brother Sam, who is amazing in the community. And he did say he's a journalist. Can I say you right? What can he say?
I go.
Amen.
I go.
Amen.
One more time. I go.
Amen.
All right, yeah, before we get into it, I need everybody to stand up. Stand up. No problem, I'll call it. All right, stand up, spread out. Stand up, spread out, arms length. So put your arms out, spread out, please. Put your arms out, spread out. I see you on the corner. Get space between yourselves, please. Quietly, please. Let's do it quickly. A little bit more space. A little bit more space. You can stand right there. All right, so like Sister T was saying, all right, you can put your hands down now. Y'all got space between y'all. That's good. If I got your attention, let me see your eyes. If I got your attention, let me see your eyes. When it comes to grassroots organizing, you guys are organizers. You got to organize your life first, and you got to organize people. When it comes to grassroots organizing, eye contact is a sign of respect and confidence. If I don't respect you, I'm not going to look you in your eye when I'm talking to you. But if I want to feel your soul, I'm going to look you in your eyes so you can know the real me. And I advise y'all to do the same whenever you're talking to anybody. Peace and blessings. My name is Brother Sam P.K. Collins. Some of y'all know me as Brother Sam, Baba Porquia. I'm a grassroots journalist by trade. I currently write for the Washington Informant newspaper. I cover local politics and I cover local education. I'm also a teacher, a tutor, but I'm here in my capacity as the co-owner of Kujichagulia Learning and Wellness Center, but I'm also here in my capacity as a Garveyite. I'm a Garveyite, okay? I'm the third in line when it comes to the course of African philosophy, the course that Marcus Messiah Garvey taught. So Marcus Messiah Garvey taught Charles L. James and a couple dozen others in the 1930s or so. Charles L. James taught Baba Senghor, and Baba Senghor taught me in the course of African philosophy in 2018. So I've been studying Garveyism, which talks about black self-determination. How many of y'all know what black self-determination means? Raise your hand. If you don't know, it's okay because you're going to learn today. I like that. Okay, when we talk about self-determination, what do we know? Go ahead.
Believing in yourself.
Believing in yourself. Okay, let's give her a hand.
Something that you feel eager to do.
Oh, I like that. Let's give her a hand. Let's give her a hand. Let's take three more. Self-determination.
Not letting what other people say you are define what you are.
Define what you are for yourself. I like that.
Knowing your self-worth.
Knowing your self-worth. All right, I like it. I like it. All right, last but not least, who got me? Who got me? I need one more voice, y'all. One more you voice. All right, back.
Self-assurance and self-awareness.
I like that. Give yourselves a hand. Y'all gotta do a little louder than that. Y'all gotta get active. Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. All right, here's the deal. I need each of y'all to count from 1 to 5. No, matter of fact, how many of us we got? 45 of us? All right, 1 to 9. We're gonna break into groups of. We're gonna break into 9 groups, 5 people each. Am I clear? And y'all gonna count 1 to 9. All right. What did I just say? 1 to 9. Okay. And we're gonna have 9 groups of 5 people. So starting with you.
1.
Sister. What was it? No. 6. So you.
1, 2, 3.
All right, good. Okay. One's right here. All the ones go right here in the corner. All the go.
Does that problem conflict with your personal values? How about your family or communities? How do you change the values so that people no longer engage in the negative behaviors?
All right, so it's a very big question. Very big question. You got to talk to your group members. What's the biggest problem facing black youth today? Does the problem conflict with your personal values? And how do you change values in the community so that people no longer engage in that negative behavior? Am I clear? Are there any questions? No questions? All right, y'all got 7 minutes to talk among your groups. And I need each one of y'all to have an answer, each group. Am I clear?
Yes.
Am I clear?
Yes.
All right, 7 minutes, let's go. We'll talk among yourselves.
Y'all gotta talk among yourselves.
What's the biggest problem? Okay.
So maybe I can use that as a guide.
How does fun affect your personality?
Pulling it out. Taking some
All right, we got group one up first. Remember eye contact. Remember you're paying attention. You're listening to understand, okay? All right, group number one.
Stand up. Good. All
Right. That's it.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to be speaking for my group, Group 1. And basically, we talked about, one of the things, a couple things we talked about like how, like doing like drug uses at a young age, that could like lead to a lot of brain damage, and that could, like, brain damage could like affect how you make choices, and the choices that you make could affect all of your relationships. We also talked about how, like, expressing your emotions, like being able to talk about your emotions, because like not talking about your emotion can either lead to like a lot of suicide and killing each other, because people like have all those pent up emotions, and then once they release it in a negative way. And yeah, that's what we talked about.
All right, group two. Group two.
Okay, so we talked about how everything's homegrown and worry about what's going on in the house, because how you're raised is definitely going to bring out what's going on in the community. So we're the future, so we have to change the way we look at it.
Good job, baby.
Another point that was made was, I said that the biggest issue to me is technology and drugs, because they're what influence the behaviors that we do, like gun violence and like violent behaviors. And we also made a point that it's going to be harder to like create change like overall, because we all have different families and different ways that we've been taught. So some things that we've been taught by our parents or like other people is certainly not like our fault or our choices. It's probably like our genes and our genetics and how we were like taught to live. So sometimes what we do is not always our fault, it's what we've been taught.
Kind of said the same thing, but it was like, when we grow up around our parents, and if they're doing like negative things, we'll like pick that up, and as we go on through life, we'll just be negative to other people. But if our parents are like positive around us, then we'll spread more positivity in life.
You said something about the stores in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, and I was saying that it's crazy how in a lot of our neighborhoods where a lot of black people live, there be like 3 tobacco stores right next to each other. They're targeting us pretty much.
Yeah, basically, what my group came up with, basically branching on what she said earlier about the music. I don't think it's so much about the beat, but I think it's more about like mainly the lyrics. So about like reenacting, especially in the DMV area, a lot of yes, y'all want to call us brothers, right? Yeah, a lot of brothers, they seem to reenact what they be talking about in the lyrics a lot, and sometimes that can lead to death, prison, or just hurting the people around you, or like them seeing you hurt makes them hurt. So yeah, I say it's mainly about the lyrics.
Let's give them a hand, family.
Come on, brains. I love these black brains. Let's go.
So I feel like one of the biggest problems, well, two of the biggest problems facing black youth today is crime and poverty. Because when you see communities with poverty, there's also an influx of crime because mostly people can't pay for the stuff that they need. So they do stuff that is justifiable in their own right, but it's not good. So I feel like what we could do is like set the age to work a little lower, like 13, and make sure that the teenagers get paid fairly so they're able to provide for their families when their parents aren't able to.
Excellent. Great. Let's give her another hand,
problem in the black community is like violence. And I agree when he said about the liquor store thing, that's off topic, but we got set up. But anyways, it's violence because like it's not a distraction to the youth. Like you go to school, you're trying to get your education, you can't do it because it's 10 girls over here trying to fight you because they insecure about themselves. 10 boys over here trying to rob you because they ain't got nothing at home. And it's just like, when you got all that going on, you can't get your education, so you can't get bigger, like you can't be nothing because it's too much going on around you. And they need help too.
Stand up, please.
I feel like the biggest problem in our black community is like not believing in ourselves, because a lot of times people always talk about being together, but in reality we all against each other. Like every time we see somebody going up, it's always black people hating on another black person, and it's like you can be in that same situation, especially when somebody try to help you. It's like degrading kind of. Like a lot of times in your home, like it's not just with your environment. For example, like being a product of your environment. Like she was saying, like the guns, all you hear is your uncles and your cousins, and like multiple people who do bad stuff and you follow in their path. But we don't want that for y'all. We want y'all to do better, and a lot of times your parents may make you feel like a burden in your own home, or they make you feel like you're less than what you are, or they just make you feel like you're not wanted there, so you try to find stuff somewhere else, which is not a good thing. And yeah, I feel like we can like uplift each other. Like if somebody has something, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but good job. It's a lot of problems that we need to fix, but it starts with like empowering each other. Like for example, if you know somebody in jail or you know somebody dead, everybody has dead people. Everybody has dead people. So for you to speak on somebody else's dead person, knowing that you have somebody that's dead yourself, is really disrespectful, and that's where a lot of problems come in. Because
So I represent Team 8, and the option we chose was music. Any of the song, it can affect, I'm not saying it can affect all people, but it can influence. For example, Children are willing known to repeat everything they know. Tell me, raise your hands if you have once as a child learned to speak based on what you heard. At the end of the day, as a young community, we all repeat or do what we repeat. What we saw, heard, or any of, etc. All problems can be up to music. People say off experience that it's them. Like I said, all music tells a story. Most music that we've heard about involves someone getting hurt, someone's family getting shot, someone losing someone. That's everyday life. Nothing positive that's happened to us. No, name how many white music makers involve something that really connects to us. Yeah, white music makers. That anything that involves negativity or anything that involves that make you feel related to it.
Everybody gonna say
media is the biggest thing, the biggest problem facing our youth today, because when you're on social media, you're influenced to do other things that you see. Like if you see somebody got the most designer stuff, and you want to have that designer thing, you're going to get peer pressure to have that designer thing. You're going to think, oh, I'm not good enough because I don't have that designer thing. And then it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going. You're going to end up in a cycle that you're not going to be able to break.
Very good answer so far. We got the last.
Not the least.
I'm speaking for Group 3. We did artificial flavors in college. A lot of people my age I see eat hot Cheetos, Takis, Mountain Dew. They drink Mountain Dew, Kool-Aid, Blueberry Faygo, just any drink. Skittles. You know, it really affects your brain, because if you eat a lot of sugars, then you're going to get addicted to it. You're going to crave it. Then you're going to be looking, oh, where's my drink? You know, where's my sugar? Where's my sugar? Where's my sugar? Where's my snacks? Example, my cousin, I'm not putting him on blast, but, bro, I'm not putting him on blast. But you do eat sweet stuff. Sweets is the main problem that young people have. I like sugar. But I eat it in moderation, so I don't get addicted to it. I don't crave it day in, day out. I don't go looking in the cupboard looking for Oreos, Skittles, candy, cookies, just sugar. I don't do it.
Our friend, let's get our brother in here, y'all. Let's give him a hand. All right, grassroots organizing for power, that's today's presentation. All right, so by the end of this lesson, okay, you guys will understand the meaning of Kujichagulia and how it affects your lives. You will also develop a campaign. You will develop a campaign to address a major problem in your community. And you will also develop a plan to involve your friends, family, and community. So it starts with y'all in this room, first identifying the problem, second developing a campaign, and next bringing in your friends, family, and community. That's community organizing because it comes from who? It comes from you. All right? Before we move on, y'all, very important flag, y'all. Very, very important flag, y'all, right here. This red, black, and green flag. Red, black, and green flag, y'all. Okay? What does the red stand for? The blood. African blood, right? That's running through our veins. What does the black stand for? Our skin, okay? And what does green stand for? Our land, where we come from, okay? So this flag was created in 1920 at Madison Square Garden during the convention of the UNIA-ACL. You will learn more about that in the presentation, but you have to understand that we're talking about nationhood. We're talking about organizing outside of the political system. Nationhood. Say nationhood. Nationhood. One more time. Nationhood. Nationhood. It's very important that y'all understand that it starts with y'all, not the other way around, okay? What's happening in November? The election, telling y'all which way to go. It's your decision. But understand that it starts with who? It starts with you, okay? Every election, every 4 years, who is the deciding vote? Which group of people? Who decides the election every 4 years? Which group? Which group of people decides the vote every 4 years? No. No. Black people. Yes. Black. Are y'all listening?
Why didn't you vote too?
Hold on. Oh, I go. Let's get serious real quick, y'all, please. Okay? Let's get serious. Every election, they gather all the votes. They got different groups of people. And then they come to us last. Okay? Because our vote is the deciding vote between who gets in the White House and not. You understand? They come to us last, right? And then within those 4 years, how much gets done for us? That's for y'all to decide. I'll let y'all say that I didn't say it. I'm just saying. Y'all paying attention now, okay? And why is that? I'll show y'all right now. Coochie Chagalia and self-governance. All right. Order. Please read the quotes.
Where is the black man's government? Where is the king and his kingdom? Where is his president, his country, and his ambassador, his army, his navy, his men, and their affairs? I'll help to make them.
Who said it?
Oh, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, founder and first President General, Universal Negro Improvement Association, African Community Slave.
All right, so question for y'all to think about. Very serious question. Who is your government? We're not talking about the U.S. government. We're talking about who is your government, because you guys are individuals. So a question for y'all to think about. But I will let Baba Senghor take the floor to talk a little bit about the history of the UNIA. Okay?
All right, y'all, in 1920, over 25,000 Africans from all around the world came to Harlem, New York, Madison Square Garden. Y'all hear me? From all over the world. And they formed what is called the Universal Negro Improvement Association African Communities League as a sovereign government. And who was elected as the leader of all African people all over the world? Who?
Marcus Garvey.
He's the only person that was ever elected as president to represent all black people in the world. Now, sometimes we get confused because we've been so haunted with governments that don't respect humanity. The UNIA is very much alive today. We're rehabilitating. We're in Sierra Leone. We're in Ghana. We're in quite a few places. The UK. We're in Jamaica. We're in the Caribbean. So we are working to put the structure back together again, so you can know that governance starts with who? Yourself. When you get up in the morning, you have to govern how you move, right? Is that not right? So when you say self-determination, where does that start? Where does self-determination start? With who? So when Sam said it's important for you to know you got to govern yourself, you heard a great presentation this morning about health and wellness, did you not? Did you not? And if every little cell in your body is not moving correctly, what happens? You get what? Sick, right? So to block yourself from getting sick, you got to do what? Take care of yourself. Y'all hear me? So when we say self-determination, we're talking about self-determination and Coochie Chagalia for all African people all around the world. And you're not a minority. there are more African people or people of African descent in South America than there are in North America. They speak Portuguese, right? But one thing you got to understand, the universal language is what? Music, right? Even if a person is singing music, singing in Portuguese, and you like the music, you still dance, right? Same thing with Kiswahili, same thing with all the languages. So what Marcus Garvey, and not just Garvey the individual, it was 25,000 of our people that came together to try to straighten things out, coming out of the post-era of what was so-called chattel slavery and the Jim Crow era. So here we are in 2024, 104 years later, still striving to put together a positive structure that young people, just like you all over the world, who do what? Govern what? Govern who? Say it loud. Govern who? So when Sam said that, it's very important because we think governance comes outside of us, but no, you govern yourself. And when you know who you are, like Marcus Garvey and those that came long before us, I wasn't even born at that time. In fact, I only been in the UNA since 1980. But it's not, I said earlier, it's not about me, you all, it's about we. And when all of us learn how to govern ourselves, and you say what to your sister and brother? Come on. What do you say to your sister and brother? Do you love your sister and brother? So you want to govern together, right? So when you all are governing yourself and you come together as a universal government, we can begin to make change. That's what Sam is talking about. So I'm not going to talk a long time. I'm going to pass this out so y'all can take with you and you can read it. But remember, when you get on the internet, don't trust ancestral. No, trust ancestral intelligence. Don't trust artificial intelligence. Y'all know why? Most of it is incorrect. Most of it is designed to dumb you down. So you want to raise yourself up. So sometimes you got to pick up a book and read. You got to pick up a book and read. Because what Marcus Garvey said to us is a reading, listen carefully, a reading man and woman makes a ready man and woman. Y'all listen. But a writing man and woman makes an exact man and woman. Let me break that down for you, and then I'm going to turn the mic back over to Stan. If you're reading to what? Learn, right? Is that not right? And if you're writing, you're doing what? You're writing to what? To help someone else what? Right. So what he was saying was, if you read the right things, you will learn how to write the right things. And that's exactly the kind of work Sam does. So we want you to know that we are very much supportive of the X generation. Y'all know what that is, right? Yeah. What about the Z generation? Is that y'all? Yeah. Well, I say X, Y, and Z must understand that you come from two parents who come from four, and this is Garveyism. This is what Garvey taught us, y'all. This is very important. One come from two, right?
Binary.
Two come from four, right? Four come from eight, right? Right? Y'all with me? 8 come from 16, right? 16 come from 32, right? 32 come from 64. Y'all see how much that is? Well, guess what? You got a whole lot of ancestors that came before you that learned self-governance, and they did it so that you could be where you are to learn how to use self-govern yourself. So you cannot be disconnected from your ancestors, and too often, that's what we get dumbed down, and they pull us away from our ancestors. Do you know that in the African tradition, it's clear we know we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. And we hate to see all the kids. Just the other day, somebody riding a moped right outside here got shot. Did y'all know that? Well, it did, just the other day. It's happening all around us. But we can change that. Instead of us listening and hearing about people dying, we gotta learn how to connect with us living. So, what I want to say is, Sam said earlier, I had the honor and pleasure of being taught by someone who was taught by Garvey. He taught what was called the Course of African Philosophy, Message to the People. And we understand that we are off course, but there are those of us older than me and my age that understand we're putting structure together to get us back on course. But if we don't connect to the young people, the younger generation, there's no future. So you all, please, I'm going to pass these around, and I want y'all to really, really know you self-govern yourself first. And then next is family. Next is community. And then you hook up. Because there's more Africans in South America than there are in North America, and you got more on the continent, all over the world. And when we come together to govern ourselves, guess what? This world will be a much more positive place. So I say one God, one aim, and one destiny. Let's give God a hand. Thank you, God.
He kind of went in on my present. Okay. All right, so. All right, in the interest of time, we're going to go through real quick, y'all. I'm going to hold your attention for a little bit longer. Now remember, we live under governments, okay? DC government, US government, some of y'all live in PG County, whoever else. They say they represent us, but they don't to some extent, okay? Legally, they are not beholden to us as a people, all right? So of course, they come to you for the vote, but it's more than the vote that gets them in power. Am I clear? Okay, so there are other things that get them in power, that represent them. They're beholden to political parties. What are some examples of political parties? Good, Democrats and Republicans. So that's the first thing, that's the first layer. All right, financial institutions, so the banks. Hollywood, so you know your Hollywood stars, your movie producers, the people that finance Hollywood. Politicians are beholden to them as well. And then you have lobbyists. Do you guys know what lobbyists are? Yes. All right, who can raise their hand and tell me who's a lobbyist? I need a new person if y'all don't mind. Somebody who hasn't spoken yet at all today. My man, what's a lobbyist? Let's guess with me. All right, so anybody else? What would a lobbyist do? Think about it. If it's a politician and you want them to do something for you, how would a lobbyist help you do that? Oh. Now go ahead, you got it, come on. All right, go ahead.
All right, so I think, based on what you said, a lobbyist would be somebody, I think that a lobbyist would be somebody who the government would send to the people to like get their votes and then go back to the government and tell them like what votes.
Oh, you're close. Good job. Good.
What does it mean beholden to? These people are beholden to.
All right, awesome question, Sis Atlantis. When you beholden to somebody, that means that you are responsible for them. Am I clear? So when I say that politicians are beholden to political party leaders, that means that they have to pay attention to them. They are responsible to them. Okay? So they got to pay attention to party leaders. They got to pay attention to the banks, they got to pay attention to Hollywood, and they got to pay attention to lobbyists. Who do they not have to pay attention to? Who? Who do politicians not have to pay attention to? The people. Unless what? Unless the people organize themselves. Am I clear? Yeah, I don't think y'all hearing me. What is the only situation where the government listens to the people? What do they have to do first? Not protest. They got to do what first? So, not advocate. What's the letter O? They have to do what? Organize. Say it again. Organize. Okay? Listen. Protests are good, but protests aren't going to do it alone. You understand? Protests are reactive. What does the word reactive mean? No? What does reactive mean? Say it again.
A product of something that happens.
A product of something that happens, which means that anytime they can use your emotions against you to pull you in the streets. So what happened in 2020 after George Floyd got murdered? What happened in 2020? A lot of protests, right? And say it again?
I said yes,
Many protests. And then in response to that, what happened?
He tried to like suppress it, so they were reactive to what was going on.
All right, so how did they suppress it?
Well, first people rioted, you know, there was a lot of violence, and then the response to that, the government, they used the violence back, so it was kind of like a cause and effect.
All right, so the government did use violence back, but the government and companies also did some good things, or some things they said was good. What did they do in response? Go ahead.
After the protests and stuff, they finally took action upon what happened to George Floyd.
What happened? What did they do?
They set trials for the men who did it.
Okay, that's true. That's true. All right, what else did they do? What else did Hollywood do? What else did businesses do?
They started. Oh yeah, they started boycotting, and they also started showing commercials. Yeah, commercials on what happened.
Okay, so you saw more tension, right? So of course, the police officer that killed George Floyd, right? He was put in trial. He was found guilty. Okay, but you also saw they created diversity offices. They put more money into things, right? But did that necessarily translate into power for black people? It did not. The name of the game is power. You have to organize for power as a people. You cannot let the government run you with emotions, okay? That's why anything that happens oftentimes is done with organization, okay? That last part right there. People who are dependent on the government and not unified risk losing control of their lives and their communities. Okay? So you see the picture here with the fish, right? What's the biggest fish on that picture? Where is it?
In front of them.
In front of all the other ones. But why is that big fish running away? Hold on, one person. Raise your hand. Go ahead. Why is the big fish running away?
Because there's multiple fishes all gathered together chasing the big fish.
Exactly. It doesn't take one person. It don't take one protest. It takes organizing. But what does organizing mean? Here are the tiers of self-governance. Baba Senghor spoke to this a little bit. All right. First, you got to govern yourself. That means abstaining from drugs. When I say abstain, what does that mean? Say it again. You said it right. I was wanting right to hear it. Remove yourself from drugs. That's the first tier of self-governance. Stay away from drugs. Do your best to regulate your emotions, things like that. Stay away from bad friends, bad community members, people who influence you to do the wrong things. Second tier, family. So who are you and your family? What kind of family members do you have? Do y'all meet oftentimes? Who in this room has family meetings with their peoples? Who has family meetings? We need more family meetings. Talk to your parents, talk to your aunties. Hey, how are the bills looking? You know, do we have a fund set up for college? Or, you know, how can we start a business? That's self-governance. Am I clear? How many of y'all gonna do that today? How many of y'all gonna walk up on your parents or your grandparents or your aunties and uncles and be like, hey, listen, we need a family meeting. How many of y'all gonna do that today? You said no? Oh, y'all trick, come on. How many of y'all gonna do that? Why should you do that though? Why should you do that?
Yeah, thank you. So y'all can connect on a more better level. Yes. So y'all can understand each other more.
Hold on 1 second. I need everybody to hear this.
Okay, let me go. No, please. So y'all can connect on a more connect together.
But why is it important for families to meet though? Why should families plan? What are families planning for? What are families planning for?
Okay. I think families are planning for like.
All right, man, sister gonna know.
So we can connect together and be like on the same page with each other. So we can have more like, so we can be closer. So we can understand each other.
Let's give her a hand, fam. Let's give her a hand. Alright, so basically, when you guys organize, you guys are building trust with yourself, with your family, and then you build community institutions, pretty much. So you and your friends, y'all can start businesses, y'all can do stuff together, and then once you do that enough, matter of fact, before I wrap up, in your community on your block, your neighbors on your block, raise your hand. How many of y'all can say that you know every neighbor on your block, or almost every neighbor? How many of y'all can say that you talk to your neighbors? Do you trust your neighbors? Yes or no? Okay, if something were to happen on the block, can you trust your neighbors more than the police? That's a good question, right? If something happened on your block, can you call your neighbors to solve the problem before the police? Because at one point in time, we were our own police. Before I let y'all go today, I'm going to let y'all go, but I need y'all to say these two words for me. Sewing your mask. Sewing your mask. Sewing your mask.
What does it mean? Because you should always ask what something means before you say it.
No problem. That's a person's name. Sewing your mask. Okay? A police officer shot her in her face and tried to lie about it. He let her die right in front of him because she called the police out of fear of somebody stalking her, from what I recall. Okay? She felt unsafe in her own community, and she had to call an officer instead of her own community. That is an example of what a lack of self-governance gets you. A lack of organization. When you cannot call on your own community to help you in your time of need, that is what happens. So of course, it's okay to protest, right? You protest in the streets, you bring the officer to justice, but what happens when you're not organized and you don't have your own police force? When you don't have your own community watch, what happens again? The next thing happens, who do you call? You gotta call the police again, but you risk them killing you. All right, before I let y'all go for real, I know I heard somebody suck their teeth, it's fine, it's cool. Look up the meaning of Black August. All right, today's Black August. All right, I want y'all to, all this prison culture that we love, it was used against us. But Black August is the real culture as it relates to us being warriors. All right, I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for your time. Did y'all learn something today? Yeah. Y'all learn something today?
All right, everyone stand, please.
This moment, we pull it together. We now can go out and share it with our community and with our family. All right? So we ready, and we do it 7 times. Ready?
Wait.
Oh. And you use your right hand. Always your right hand.
1, 2, 3. Harambe! Harambe!